What's up, folks? It's me, the host of the panel tonight. My co-host is missing in action. He'll be here soon. I'm sure he's just tangled up or something. New York traffic, something like that. But we have one of our guests. Our second guest is on the way. He's finishing up his own current show on his channel. But right now I'm joined by Effie from Any Action Sportscast, which is always a genuine blessing because who else would I rather have? Nobody other than Effie. Effie is one of my favorite guests of all time. So, Effie, how are you feeling about this card?
Dude, super excited. We were just talking before the stream started. So many fighters I'm looking forward to see. Some of these lines are crazy though, like they're just huge favorites, so we gotta be careful with our bets. But yeah, man, shout out to you guys. I'm happy to be on. I don't know where Couch is, but he'll be here soon. That's super funny that he's not here. But
Yeah.
yeah. Want to say shout out to you and your new wife.
Oh,
Met,
yes.
met you guys last week. We actually had dinner, guys. Tyler's just like you expect, guys. Super cool, and nice guy. So yeah, man, super happy to be on the stream and for a great card too, no less.
Yeah, dude, that was so. Yeah, for the chat, like Effie actually drove me and my now wife to the marriage license plates in Nevada. So that was kind of cool. So Effie's the man. If it wasn't for him, who knows if I would even be married now. So
No.
I'm just playing. I probably would have figured it out, but it made it easier.
Yeah.
Oh, let's catch up with the chat. Give the other guys a little bit of time to catch up. MMA clip says 3 sharps. Okay, I wonder though because there was 4 of us supposed to be here. Who was the one that isn't sharp?
That's funny. Probably
Clips, when
me.
you catch
He
up.
probably doesn't know who I am. No, I know who MMA Clips is, but
That's hilarious. MMA clip says he had to like the stream. Yes, you must like the stream. That's the thing. If you're in the chat and you haven't done it already, go ahead and like the stream. We'll get underway with the fights. We're kind of buying some time, but it's a good time. We're gonna have some fun. But yeah. Oh, Barry Fisherman, what's up, aka JD? Yes, everyone is having a good day. And yes, I did get married on Saturday. That is exactly what happened. So, Barry, JD, whatever we want to call you, my friend, I'm a married man. See, got this ring on. I'm getting used to that. That's kind of a new thing. So,
shout out to Barry, man. That's a sick profile picture with your dog and the piano.
oh, yeah. He's got the dog and the piano. That's legit.
Is that a play on Larry Fisherman? But that's cool.
Probably, actually. I know that he makes music. So if you need like beats and stuff like that, dude, hit up Barry Fisherman.
That's what's up.
And Derek Izzy, here we go. Nice to see you guys again. Derek, it's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. I'm so glad you made it. This card's going to be so much fun. We're going to talk through all the fights here soon. And in fact, me and Effie are probably going to kick it off here in a second because Couch is MIA. I hope he's okay. I really do. I haven't heard from him. He sent me like 4 messages at once earlier, like an hour or so ago. And then I haven't heard from him since. So, Barry's super happy for me. I appreciate that, brother. You're awesome. Oh, yeah, dude, definitely, yeah. If anybody needs beats and music and stuff, hit up Barry Fisherman. I'm sure you can hit him up in the chat down here, and he'll get something squared away for you because dude's cool as heck. He's always sporting the content, always sporting the boys. You always love to see it. So, but anyway, we can talk some fights. This is a card where we've had 14 fights the whole time. For a little bit there, 2 of them fell out and got replaced, and that actually caused me a little delay because we got met with 2 newcomers to the UFC. Didn't have a backlog of notes for them, but we're good now. Let's go ahead and talk about the first fight of the night as it stands. And let me tell you, this first fight, absolute banger of a card opener, and I think that's why they put it on there. First off, you can never go wrong with starting out with flyweights because flyweights always make fights entertaining. So that's a good sign. And then not only that, whoa, that's way too big. Just kidding. We're going back small. And then not only do flyweights always make it entertaining, but you got an undefeated prospect and you've got 15-2 Tagir Ulanbekov, training partners with one of the guys in both the main and the co-main. So sick fight. Tagir Ulanbekov takes on Clayton Carpenter. You know what, Effie, why don't you kick this one off? Who do you have in this one? What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Tagir submits him in this fight. But I'm going Tagir decision here. I like Clayton, though. It sucks. Actually, I agree with you, man. He's a really good prospect, undefeated, and he does everything well, man. He decent striker, really good chin and heart, man. That contender series fight against Chires, like he had to go through like some stuff there, and Chires is good. Like he's not a scrub at all. That was a good fight for him. But we'll say his regional tape, man. He does something that I really don't like. When you have a guy press against the cage and he goes for a takedown, he ends up on bottom, tries to pull him out. And bro, you do that against Tagir, like you're gonna lose the round and you might even get finished. But I just think that Tagir really is just a step ahead in pretty much every area. Slightly quicker on the feet, a little bit more dangerous on the feet, and definitely a good enough grappler to hold his own against Carpenter. But yeah, wouldn't be shocked if Tagir at some point does find the submission. But I'm going to go overall with the fight goes to decision and Tagir to win it. So Tagir and Team Habib on the board first here.
Heck yeah, dude. Okay. I find myself on the opposite side. And not because I don't think Tagir is maybe the better fighter, but I don't think he's enough of a better fighter for me to not take Carpenter as a massive underdog. So, and here's the deal. Tagir has had a lot of really rough weight cuts too.
Yeah.
I think that's going to play into it. And Carpenter looked so good in his last fight. Like, I understand the level of competition was much lower than Tagir and Lomachenko. Don't get me wrong. I do. But, dude, if you get... I put like 0.3 something or another units on, I think it's like 0.39 on Carpenter to win one the other day when he was at plus 270. Because if I lose that bet, it should be covered. But if I win that bet, it's a pretty decent way to start the card. So we played it, and I'm not upset about it. If he loses, it is what it is. Tagir should win. I mean, the dude's 15-2. His only losses are to like pretty established guys. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to take Carpenter. He's good everywhere. Really good everywhere. So is Tagir. One thing though that Tagir doesn't have that the rest of the guys that seem to be in his camp do is his striking defense isn't as good. Like guys like Umar, guys like Islam, they don't get hit. Very, very few people actually land clean on them, and even when they do, it's very infrequent. Tagir gets hit quite a bit, and I think that Carpenter can make some use of that. And I do think that he does have the grappling chops to avoid the guillotines, and I think he can also make it competitive on the mat. So I'm gonna take Carpenter. I could get it wrong. I don't have a lot of underdogs on this card. That's gonna be one of them. So we have that. So we're split on the first one, but that is A-okay because that happens sometimes. But do I have an address that I can send that people can send gifts to? I did up until recently. Let me get back to you on that, Fisherman. Let me get back to you on that. That should be on Twitter or something, and then we can figure something out. Fight picks. Tagir is the worst of the bunch. Clayton's better than the. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
The welterweight is the worst one. Abu Bakr, he's trash.
Abu Bakr, yeah.
Pirate.
Yeah, Abu Bakr is by far the worst of the like ones that.
I actually don't think Tagir is like going to be a champ or anything either, but he's just so. I think he's a little bit green, man. When he came to the UFC, like I was talking to you before the show started, like even them have like YouTubes and stuff, and there was a clip of him after his first fight where like it's like day after, and he was talking to Habib, and Habib's like, "How'd you feel?" And he's like, "Bro, I was so nervous." And he was like, "Why? Like, why are you nervous?" He's like, "I don't know. I just got hella nervous." I was like, these other guys are like cold blooded, like just going right through people. This guy, seems to be.
Yeah, I'd say Tagir. Yeah, I'd say he's not like. He's definitely really good, but because everybody else at that camp is so good, it kind of like makes you think he's not as good. But like the dude's 15-2, like he's legit. He's been in the UFC for quite a while.
Tim Elliott cheated his ass off too.
Dude, he did.
He was grabbing the gloves.
He so did. And that's because I was on Tagir that night, and I was like, I was so annoyed by it. But at the same time, like, you're kind of like, dude, if the ref's not doing anything about it, you might as well keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard. It's tough. MMA Clip seems to be on Tagir. He says he's better on the feet than Carpenter is. I don't know. I do wonder about that.
I think Carpenter is hittable. I think he's quite hittable.
Yep. He does have a really good jab. I like his jab.
Yeah.
But he's hittable. He's got pretty good movement.
The Juan Camilo dude that he beat gotta be one of the worst fighters ever in the UFC ever.
Oh, for sure.
Dude's high on coke.
Yeah. This is probably one of the fights that I think is like one of the more competitive fights on the card. And the reason that like I had to go with Carpenter is because the odds don't reflect that whatsoever.
Yeah. So, if you think that, you gotta lay it.
Dude, yeah. Especially at that line. Clip says Tagir's winning 29-28. See, that's the thing. Even if he wins 2 or 3 rounds, I don't trust the judges to get that right. And like realistically, at over plus 200 on Carpenter, the undefeated prospect. I could see a judge being like, all right, let's go the other way. And then next thing you know, 2 judges think the same thing. Dude's on it. So that's what happens. Elite Division Sports in the chat. What's up? How you doing? Everything's been great, actually. Yes, and this is a fantastic card. It is so good to see you. I'm so glad you made it out. You already have a gift picked out and everything, dude. You just found out like a few minutes ago. You are quick, Barry. You are quick, like lightning fast. My God. Couch is suffering couch lock, dude. I don't know what happened to Couch. He's
no
got
idea.
something going on. I know he usually,
I hope
takes
he's
his
all
little
right.
his, like pregame poop before these start, but like, dude, that was a while ago. So, I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. The +3, yeah, +3.5 actually might be solid. I really think that's a solid play if you want to play it safe. Does anybody know what the line is on? I guess just anybody. If you know what the line is on that,
Let me check.
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
I saw Tagir to win decision was -110. They think it's going to go the distance. It's -250 to go the distance. I can't see it. I'll find it. But it's not a bad look. I mean, he can definitely take it around. But like I said, he might get submitted because, like, I think Tagir is that much better of a grappler if it happens.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a possibility there. I think TV is going to get here before Couch does. That's hilarious. What do we think of the parlay? Rinya, Jouton, and Peyton Talbot. I will cover those fights in a bit, but just like they should probably win. But they're all really big favorites for a reason. So Couch.
Don't cash that out. Let it ride.
We're just talking mess. Couch is a great dude. I like Couch. I just hope he's okay. I hope he didn't get like
lay off the
zapped on the subway in New York or something. You know what I mean? Like it's gnarly there.
That's what I said before we started the show. I was like, he's probably getting high.
That's what I thought too at first, but like, dude lives in New York. You never know. The place is crazy. So who knows? Okay. No chill. I mean, I think Spivak's going to do better than everybody thinks. Interesting. I mean, it's definitely possible. He looked really good in his last fight with that off his back submission. Like, sick. Hey, there we go. He's arrived to be entertained. Scott, it's so good to see you, dude. You're always fun. Always love it when you're in the chat, my friend. Fellow Nebraskan. Love to hear it. So it's always cool. It's Rinya's toughest fight. You know what? We'll cover that one in a minute. I don't know that it is, but we'll cover that in a minute. Okay, so we're divided on the first fight. The chat also seems divided on it. What the heck is going on over there? I don't know if you just heard that. The cats are doing crazy stuff. Anyway, we can move on to the next one. We have Ricky Turcios taking on Bernardo Sopaj. Or Sopai. Is it Sopai or Sopaj? I don't know. We're going to go Sopai.
I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know. I think it's Sopai. But I say, like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go that. All right. Realistically, I think Sopai wins this fight at a really high clip. I don't have any reason to think Turcios can win. He doesn't have enough power to flash knock him out like we saw Oliveira do. Because Turcios has never been a power guy. And in the grappling, although he's like really good at scrambling, got good sweeps and stuff like that, his finishing ability on the ground at this level doesn't seem to be there. So I don't think we got to worry there. I think Sopai can dominate him pretty much the whole fight. So I feel like you can still like the money line's even better now than it was the first time this fight was booked, which doesn't make any sense because I'm pretty sure Turcios was the one that pulled out last time. But now they're giving us Sopai at -250. In fact, money has come in on Turcios. So I don't know what's going on. So yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, that surprises me as well. This is a little bit more playable to me. I think Sopaj is way better. I'm super low on Ricky, bro. Like, I just don't think he's that good. I want to make a joke. Like, dude, I wonder if he knows that, like, the whole point of, like, throwing feints, like, you have to throw strikes still. Like, you have to actually throw the next punch. Like, eventually you have to actually try to hit him. Like, but he just throws so many feints. And, I mean, he's a good grappler. He can definitely scramble. And he's very active off his back. He's not comfortable just laying in guard. He'll try to get the sweeps. He'll try to elbow from bottom or stay active at least and not just get held. So I do like that as well from him. But like I said, man, I just don't think he's that good of a fighter. I think Sopaj was doing well before he got slapped bad. And I think he just hits way harder. And I just think he's a better physical athlete than Ricky. I think he has a lot of things going for him. I know he was -300 earlier, and now money's coming in on him. So that is a little bit surprising. 300 was probably a little bit too wide, but I think he should be the rightful favorite. I think he wins this fight. I think he can cover Ricky everywhere. And I'm low on Ricky, so you add that into the fact. So give me Sopaj.
Yeah, and at -250, like, honestly, I might even just lay the juice on that. Like, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Ricky has good enough cardio. Sopaj gets tired. He might turn it up late, but I doubt it.
Even then, like, it's not like he's going to get finished in the late rounds by Ricky. So, like, Ricky somehow has to win one of the first 2 rounds. I don't know that happens. I don't think he 10-8s him in the third. And if he does, it'd be a draw. So, yeah, I think it's easy. Sopai all day on this one. But yeah, who knows? We can move on to the next one. I think we're obviously we're both in line on that one. This is another one that I think is pretty cut and dry. I'll let you kick it off. We have Rinya Nakamura taking on Muin Gafurov. Another 135-pound fight. Like a pretty good clip of these fights are 135, which is good. It's the best division in the sport right now. But who do you have in this one, Rinya or Muin?
Well, first, I love bantamweight fights. You just see a lot. You see a lot of different skill sets, like everything mixed in. A lot of speed's great, but I think for the most part, they're pretty durable. But dude, I think Rinya takes this guy down. I'm super high on his wrestling, dude. He's so good. It's really hard to achieve his level of skill in wrestling, and I've seen Munian give up top position too much against guys who I don't think can grapple as good as Rinya. On the feet, though, I think Gafurov can make this interesting. I don't rate Nakamura's striking that good. I know he has these crazy spinning kicks and crazy flush knockouts, which, I mean, credit to him, like they're sick knockouts, but I don't know if he can put together a whole 15 minutes as well as Gafurov. But I just think that the ability to get the takedown will open up striking. It's just so hard when you have to fight a guy that's can shoot and can get in so quick throughout the whole fight, and I believe in his cardio. I think he can push. I think Gafurov actually trains at Syndicate in Vegas. I think he's a Vegas guy, which sucks to pick against him. But yeah, give me Nakamura. I think he gets him down. I think I wouldn't be shocked if he submits him. But if Gafurov pushes him in this fight, I actually wouldn't be shocked. I think if he can stuff some takedowns early and really frustrate Rinya and pretty much make him one-dimensional and make him stand on the feet, he has obviously a way better chance to win. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the threat of takedowns are going to open up here for Rinya if it does, get stuff here early. But I think he'll get success on those takedowns and not lose top control. So I like Nakamura. I like him to either establish a lot of top control in this fight or at some point finish him. So give me Nakamura here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree. In fact, it's moved now, but it was minus like 500 earlier. Actually, you can still get minus 500 on him on FanDuel. I don't know FanDuel. But I thought about just laying the money line on Rinya because I feel like he can't, I don't know how he loses this fight other than like a flash knockout. And it's kind of like he's the far better wrestler. His top control is, he's very safe on top. We saw that in the Carlos Vera fight because like that dude is aggressive off his back. And Rinya just showed it, no mind. He just said, okay, cool. Shucked it all off. No big deal. On the feet, Gafurov is wide open to be countered. He loops a lot of shots and leaves himself wide open. He'll look at his work, and that dude can be countered. Yes, he can hit hard. Yes, there's a chance that he can knock him out. But something tells me Rinya's chin's probably good. There's like a thing, right? And take this for what you will. There's just like certain areas of the world have really good chins. Mexico being a place that has good chins. Eastern Asia is another place that has really good chins. People don't think about that. They always think about, Mexico and Peru are places with great chins. It's true. Dude, Eastern Asia, those guys, like the chin there, like dudes can take a beating. It's just the thing. I don't think Nakamura's getting put out with one shot. Like you see some of the shots, like take Tatsuro Taira when he fought Roy Vol. Dude just clean eats a knee to the face like it doesn't matter. Like it's a thing. Like there's something in like genetics, like that you do have like predisposition to being more durable, I think. So I think Rinya's gonna be fine. I don't think he's getting flash knocked out. I think Rinya's the far better fighter everywhere. I think it's clear. I think the money line is safe, honestly. I always parlay up him and Sopai. Just hammer it.
Yeah, and he doesn't put himself in like submission like positions too often, whereas someone like Tatsura, like he's so good and everything, but like damn, sometimes he does put his neck in there some dangerous spots. But Rinya is a little bit more polished.
Yeah, he's very safe. Like
Strong too.
Tyra will take risks. Rinya doesn't take a lot of risks.
Yeah.
Just
good point.
I'm getting the win. Yeah. Let's shout out the chat. We got No Chill MMA saying that he just did one of his first MMA interviews. Definitely not good at it yet. Okay, first off, No Chill. That's sick as heck. Do me a favor and shoot me the link to that, whether somewhere. Shoot me the link to that somewhere. I would love to watch that. That sounds sick. Also, who'd you interview? That sounds cool. Let us know in the chat so everybody else can check it out later. That sounds awesome. The interviews are tough at first for two reasons, at least for me. One is I have so much I want to ask, and they always have limited time, and I can never get to all of it. And two, it's also really tough to separate the like I'm a fan from I'm interviewing this person, and that's also tough. So I get that. Absolutely do. I found the best way to do it if not that you're looking for any advice, but for me, is you just talk to them like talk to them as if they're your buddy and you're just asking them questions. It makes the interview feel really, really natural. That's what I always try to do, but it's easier said than done. So, and yeah, congrats to No Chill. Sick. That's super sick. So that's awesome. Let's see. Thoughts on betting live on Nakamura during round one? Get Bravo fake. Honestly, I feel like you're best just playing it pre-flop. I feel like Nakamura is going to be like a minus 1,000 by the end of round one or more. Because I feel like he's going to get the takedown and stay there once he gets it. What do you think, Effie?
Yeah, I think he's gonna stick. I think he get a worse line probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Unless Gaffarov can crack him, but I don't think he does. Definitely think Rennie gets it done. Gaffarov should give some interesting challenges. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. When has Gaffarov looked good at all? Like,
I mean, I don't know. His last fight was close.
yeah, but like that's against Chung Ho Kang, who like also was just kind of like was on the cusp of like being in the UFC for ages. So, and then he got cut after this loss. So, or after that loss. So it's like, not that Chung Ho Kang's bad. I just don't think he's like. I mean, I don't know. Gaffarov lost to Chad and Helger, which that's not a good look. So, nothing. No disrespect to Chad. Chad's sounds like a good dude, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Renia just gets it done so easy. Can never trust lines. I get that. Like it is MMA, but at this point, like minus 550, minus 600, like it's still like within the realm of like, if the only thing you're worried about is like a freak accident, I think you're still okay. Yeah, okay, that's a very good point though. The glass in the foot thing.
That's crazy.
That said though, there's a big difference between Doumbé and Renia. I bet you if Renia gets glass in his foot, dude's not even saying anything. Dude's just gonna keep fighting and win. Mm-hmm. So some people are, some people are built different, Renia sell plus 550. I don't mind that. I also don't mind the TKO. I think you could knock him out on the feet. Dude's got one heck of a cross. I think you could also ground and pound him, but dude's got a laser of a cross. So I think with Gaffarov leaving himself so wide open, I wouldn't mind a TKO just because he's so open to being countered. But then again, club and sub definitely live. Yeah, see, there you go. You know what's up. All right, so we both are on Renia. We're split on the first one. No big deal there. We'll move right along. I bet TV's going to be jumping in any minute. I'm starting to worry about Couch. If anybody knows how to reach Couch, like if anybody's got like his personal phone number or something, hit him up. Because like, I don't know what happened to the guy. Hope he's okay. Anyway, we'll move on though. For the sake of the show, we're moving on. Carol Hossa takes on Eileen Perez. I'll kick this one off. This is a fight that I actually took a little bit of time and was back and forth on because both of them have a clear path to victory. Now, I understand Hossa's a big favorite now. At least last time I looked. I guess what's she at now? She's at minus 250. So money's come in on Perez, but still, she's still pretty high up there. There we go. Yep, TV's on the way. Yep, that sounds about right. He's probably going to beat Couch here. So, obviously, Perez starts getting her takedown successfully and is able to control the fight that way. That's her path to victory. Because on the feet, she's going to be out volume. She's going to be outpaced. She's not the cleaner striker. The leg kicks alone coming from Hossa there's just so many of them. So I've got to say that Hossa's going to have a big advantage every time the fight starts or the round starts. But Perez, she can get takedowns, and she is good at causing damage in the takedowns. The problem is she isn't good at controlling her opponents. And that's why I ultimately sided with Hossa. I think she's going to be able to get up, and I'm going to say I think she's going to have the better gas tank over the course of the 15 minutes. Oh, yep, here we go. Chronic Combat Conversations is releasing TV shortly. No worries. We still don't have Couch yet, so you're good. That KO. Ooh, I don't know if I can trust KO. I think it goes over. I think we get a decision, but I think it's going to be one of those decisions where there's a lot of volume and Perez is not looking good in the third. So for me, I think Perez could win the first round just by being aggressive and starting that way. But Hossa's going to take over as the fight goes on. It's just when does she take over in the fight is kind of what it comes down to for me. So I'm leaning Hossa. What about you?
Dude, before I break this fight down or give my opinion, can you guys see my head, like my forehead?
Yeah, what's up?
My hat, bro, was so tight. I was like, am I getting sick right now? My fucking head hurts so bad. And damn, I look like Peyton Manning now. We used to have a super tight helmet.
It's your hat, man.
I feel so much better now. But whatever. I don't think Eileen's that good, bro. Like I really don't. I think she's super one-dimensional. I bet against her against Jocelyn Edwards. And dude, she surprised me by dropping her, and to see that was really surprising. But I just don't think that she's that good. But I will say, man, before I do my tape. Obviously, I try to stay away from the lines. Like I don't want to. But this card was so weird because like it's so far ahead. Like and that break happened, so like you kind of do get an idea. I was so surprised to see Cara Rosa be such a big favorite. I was like, damn, like I really think that Perez has a really like clear path to victory here, is easily with those takedowns. But then you add the cardio, and like you said, man, the striking to me is not close. Um, I don't know, man. I hate laying this number on Carol, even now that's come down, because I do think that Eileen at some point probably does get at least 1 or 2 takedowns in this fight. And I really don't want to be sitting there with laying -2.5, -300 here on a girl that's going to be on her back for at some point in this fight. So, but like I said, the striking. I mean, the technique is so bad from Perez. She throws so slow, so wide, whereas Carol's way more crisp. I do hope that she stays away from the clinch, because I wouldn't be shocked if she gets reversed or even put down like via trip along the cage. But yeah, I just can't get behind. That cracked me up. I can't get behind Eileen Perez. Yeah, like I don't think she's high either, but I don't think she's that good, dude. So I'm going Rosa here, but I am surprised to see this line where it's at.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like the line feels wide, but it's not wide enough that I'm willing to play Perez. There's a number I'd play Perez, but we're not there yet. Derek Izzy's on Perez based on the wrestling, which I get. I definitely get that. And the frequency of underdogs being on pay-per-view cards. I definitely get that. Like if you're going to play like an underdog, Perez is not my least favorite by any means. Like I feel like of underdogs that I didn't pick outright, she's one of them that I would say is like up there is like a decently high likelihood of winning. So I don't fault anybody for playing Perez. The +3.5 might be actually like the way to play it if you have a book that offers that, like the point spread. Because I'm almost certain that if she's at like +2 something or not, which +210 on bet or +210 on bet online. At that, like I imagine you're getting like at least somewhere close to even money on the point spread. I wouldn't mind something like that. Her outright winning is definitely possible. So who knows? Barry subscribed to Effie, which is great. Dude, guys, if you're in the chat and you're not subscribed to Effie's channel, Any Action Sportscast, you need to go do it. I can't tell you guys this enough. It's actually one of the channels that I look forward to most to watch each week. And I don't say that lightly. I got to listen to the Dogger Pass podcast, of course, because, Safdic's really good. I listen to Effie's, obviously. Now he does them on Mondays. They used to be like Wednesday or Thursday. Now they're on Mondays. I listen to Couch, but Couch does most of my stuff, so whatever. Johnny K. Picks. We know Johnny. I listen to Chronic Combat Conversations. I always have to catch the replay because we're always doing stuff on Thursdays when we do these. But I listen to there's like certain channels that I don't miss. Effie's is like right up there as number one. So guys, make sure you subscribe to that. It's one of the best channels that you can get for MMA content. Barry Fishman, he's also on Perez. Okay, yeah, definitely do the tape study for sure. There you go. Clips is already subscribed. We got it.
He was in the chat. He was in the chat on our last live stream. Shout out to the homie.
That's right. There you go. Okay, -165 right now for the +3.5. I don't mind that because I don't think Host is going to finish Perez. Perez is tough.
Dude, they actually released the judges, which I wish they would do way more often. They released which judges are going to do which fights.
For the top 3, right?
I think for like 5 fights. I can't remember because I know Jiri's got announced and they're not the main event or co-main. But hopefully if you can find out who's reffing or judging this one, dude, like Sal Diamato's going to mess it up. Like McCarthy's going to mess it up. I think a point spread or fight goes to split isn't crazy. Yeah. Like they can mess this up, dude. The judges valuing the grappling, valuing the damage, or control time versus damage.
Absolutely.
We've seen it too often,
Yeah. And like realistically, this is one of those things where like it just depends on what the judges are favoring on that given day. And like what judges you get. Honestly, Sal hasn't really messed anything up in a while, if you ask me. Like Sal's been pretty on compared to some of them.
I will say, I feel like whoever gets red last, you know how they do split, like someone goes, someone goes. Everyone just blames that third guy. Like no one cares about that first guy that had the same thing as the third guy. Like what the hell? So I think that is kind of funny that everyone freaks out at the last guy that gets red.
It's true. Yeah, and nobody ever, I don't get that either.
Later in the because it takes like a couple 20 minutes for the cards to actually come out, and then you'll be what the hell? Like round 2, like what the hell did you see there?
Yeah, I haven't been mad at Sal for a while. Like he's not like none of them are good. Like, there's no judges that when I see them on there, I'm like, oh, great. Like, there are referees when I see them there that I'm like, okay, probably fine. But with judges, there's none that I'm like, oh, great, that's the one I want. Like, I'm glad they're there. But there's some that I'm like, oh, man, not that one. Sal's not one that I just like, oh, man. Like, Chris Lee, nah, get that guy out of there. That dude's horrible. Yeah, there's a few that are just really, really bad. But, you know, it's what it is. There you go. There you go. Clips is a big Effie fan. I like that. That's what I like to hear. That's what we like to see over at this panel of 2 right now. Fans of Effie. We're trying to get him to over 1,000 subs. So you guys need to go subscribe.
We're shout out bands, all right.
Word. It happens. YouTube doesn't like you guys. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense, but YouTube doesn't like you guys. First replacement fight of the night. Zach Reese takes on Azamat Bekoev, and this is weird because it's not often the person that comes in on short notice opens as a like more than 2-1 favorite. Money's coming back the other way a little bit now, but when it opened, I'm pretty sure Bekoev was like minus 250 or so. I mean, yeah, it looks like 250 at open, which that's pretty wild. Let's see. I think it's your turn to kick it off. We're gonna say it's your turn to kick it off.
Yeah, I think it's mine because I think you went first on the last one. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, very rare you see that, and so I will say right away, I don't see it. I don't see minus 250, bro. Like, that's hella funny. Damn, that sucks. Pouring out.
I didn't even know that, but that's good to know, Scott. I appreciate you letting me know.
That's tough. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, dude, like this guy, I expected to see that line. Obviously, like I know Zach Reese. I was gonna pick him against Rodriguez, and I was like, all right, well, this guy's probably good. But then I'm watching him, like, okay, like I mean, he's good, but he's not like some beast or anything. Like, yeah, he hits hard for sure. Decent grappling when he's on top. Suspect cardio, suspect strength in the schedule. Split decision with Budka was not a good look in my opinion. He's getting crushed in the UFC. And yeah, minus 250. Not surprised money's coming in on Zach, dude. For me, this is Dogger Pass. I'm actually picking Zach to win. I think he gets the upset here. The other dude, I know it's a super like Caucasus Mountain heavy card, and everyone's gonna be parlaying the favorites with these crazy last names. But if you watch tape on this guy, like there's moments where I'm like, getting tired, giving up easy takedowns. Like, what's going on here? I know Zach Reese is putting out guys super early too, but I just think he's not that big of an underdog, really. Like, I think it's a closer fight than it's line. So I'm picking the underdog here. Give me Reese.
Yeah, I could be swayed to the Reese side on this one, but ultimately the only reason I haven't jumped to Reese, and I'm just not going to bet it, honestly. There's no bet. I was going to bet Reese heavy against Dumas. I didn't care what the line was.
That sucks. He got screwed. Screwed.
Serious. Like, this fight is way harder than Dumas, and that's surprising. But because Dumas, like, he has like the athleticism and like the lanky build and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what gets him through fights. The skill isn't really there. I don't mind Reese in this one, and I'll have some exposure to him on like DraftKings and stuff like that for sure. But like as far as a bet, I'm not gonna play him. Actually, I probably won't on DraftKings because I don't think they're gonna give us his. They'll give us his original odds, so he'll be ridiculously overpriced. Never mind, I'm not gonna have any exposure to him there at all. So that sucks. But as far as underdogs, I think he's one of the more live underdogs on the card. The only thing I'm worried about is I know he's pretty willing to work from his back when he's taken down, and I could see the fight just slipping out of his grasp and Bekoev just being on top and defending submissions. So there's that. So I think I'm going to lean with Bekoev just getting a decision and Reese having all the moments, but just not doing enough to get the decision. But I could be swayed the other way. I'm gonna have to stew on this one for a bit. It's
yeah, and you have this short notice, and it's like I don't want to get at minus 250 here. Like I would much rather have position here on Zach, but
sure,
I mean, the guy has some sick knockouts. I'll give him that. Like holy crap, he's kind of crushing dudes when he gets them clean. But yeah, I mean, like there's no reason to bet every fight. Like you don't have to bet every fight. You know?
No, in fact, I don't want to bet either of the replacement fights to be honest. But this one specifically because there's just too many like unknowns for me. We've only seen Reese out of the first round once.
I think the other dude's worse than this guy. This guy's probably better than Billy.
This Bekoev guy's pretty good, but he does have some concerns. And like realistically, if you're a guy like this, like Zach Reese, with the new gloves that they had back with then, dude was still starching dudes one shot. So, oh, guys, we've got one of the greatest guests that just arrived. TV Scouting MMA. What is up, dude?
Let's
Oh.
go.
Surprisingly,
building,
TV made it
baby.
here before Couch.
Unbelievable, but believable.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I'm genuinely worried about Couch. I have no idea what happened to him. So
We have no idea where Couch is, bro.
Jeez, man. We're going to have to
Hope he's
send
all
out
right.
the search party. I might be the closest in like proximity of a
Yeah.
geographical
they
matter.
definitely are.
I'm going to have to hop on the train, go to the city. We're going searching for Couch.
Be careful about the train, though. Because that
Yeah. Sketchy.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, look at that last comment that just came in.
Oh, God.
Eyebrows are so terrible. You guys, come on.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's let TB catch up. For anybody that wasn't watching TB's stream prior to this, let's see. We're currently on the Zach Reese and Azamat Bekova fight.
Beautiful.
So if you want to just toss out your pick for the Ulanbekov Carpenter fight, Tertius Sopai fight, Nakamura Gafarov, and Hosa Perez, and then we can get a breakdown on this one.
Beautiful. All right. So we'll make it quick and easy. I think you guys kind of have the vibe of where these early fights are. You're either taking a dog shot or you're playing a crazy juice parlay or you're making a reasonable decision and passing. So let's go through it. We got Tajir Father's Plan Ulanbekov versus Clayton God's Plan Carpenter. Ultimately, I think Father's Plan should win out. He's got the more tested wrestling and grappling, but I wouldn't be surprised if Clayton Carpenter brings the better cardio and gives him a lot of trouble. So I'll pass. And if I was going to play anything, it would have to be a Tajir decision, just because I think, they might get the nudge on the scorecards. It's going to be close, but at minus 325, what are we doing here? If I'm thinking it's a close decision, it's dog or pass. So we're going to have to go ahead and pass. And especially with the juiced over, why bother? So I don't know, make your nachos, do whatever you got to do as that first fight's getting going. Then we've got Ricky Tercios versus the Lion King, Bernardo Sopai. Bernardo inside the distance. I'm not picking knockout. I'm not picking sub, but you're telling me that the under 2.5 itself is plus money? So I think if anything, Sopai, he could be liable to find a finish in his own right. Tercios has been hurt on the feet. He's been submitted before. He's lost plenty of decisions, but Sopai's probably the most dangerous guy from a technical standpoint that he's fought recently. Maybe not the grappling of Rosas, but guess what? He got finished there too. Lock dog, he can stuff takedowns, not against Bernardo before he gassed out. And Bernardo's not on 1 week notice now. He's on like 3 extra months of notice. And after his brutal knockout loss, that's actually a great thing. I love that he got more time here. And Ricky, how tough is it to make the weight class? I think you're getting chin, my brother. So knockout, fight doesn't go. Bernardo inside the distance. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Effie. That was the perfect drop there.
Word.
Nakamura, Gafarov. If it's minus 500 or above, I got to project the guys winning by finish. And Nakamura's recent decisions make it so that his finish prop is now very nice price. Very nice. So I'm looking at that. It's very interesting, but it's a half unit or less. I can't be blowing my whole bankroll on prelim guys, and I'm not sure if they're going to get a decision or going to find a finish, but you're telling me I get plus money on Rinya, who, he's got some knockout power. The wrestling doesn't just translate to a wrestling perspective, but those hips, man, they don't lie. It's like Shakira out there. This guy packs a punch. He's got more knockouts than submissions in his career. And Fernie Garcia, that dude just does not quit. And Vera, I think we all got excited about the submission because of how many sub losses he had previously, but maybe he worked on it, right? In this part, I think Gafarov, he's just going to gas out if he's having to defend takedowns and work. And man, round 2, round 3 could be extra juicy on the Rinya side. Finally, we get to the Hurricane, Carol Hosa and Eileen Fiona Perez. I don't know. I think we could be twerking our way to an underdog shot here. It's just we got reverse CLV'd on what I placed. I was like, ooh, I could get a clean cash out plus 170. Let me just throw it down here. And I wake up like a day later and I'm like, well, I would lose $10 if I go to cash out. So guess we're just going to wait and see. Eileen, I'm expecting her to at least attempt to shoot takedowns until she can't breathe anymore. Hosa, she doesn't finish anybody. So I know she's come close. I know she can dish out 100, 200 strikes, but she still hasn't actually finished anybody. So while round 3 prop is tempting, Is it just a donation? So I'm leaning towards like Eileen as, basically like taking a little bit of a dog shot here. She's a decent lady. She would never do bad things.
No.
But yeah, plus 205. I mean, I can't hate it. I would have to take a small shot there, nothing large. And that brings us to where we were. We're on the Zach Reese.
Yes, but before we jump into that real quick,
Let's go.
Sponsoring the episode tonight.
Daz. Hell
With-
yeah.
What are those, Australian
Go,
dollars?
Daz.
It looks like? Is that what they call them down there? Down under?
Aussie.
Yeah, there you go. Aussie dollars. We go with that. I appreciate you, Daz. You're the man. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the panel, hosted by 130 MMA and the Couch Warrior, who is not here. So it's okay. We actually might put this 10 Australian dollars to the Couch Warrior Discovery Fund. We got to find this man. We'll hire a private investigator to find him. It sounds like we had somebody texting him and he didn't respond. So
Dogfather's on the case. Damn.
that's right. Outbox. Oh, that's funny right there. That's funny. Yeah. So hopefully the couch shows up eventually. Hopefully somebody finds him, and we're gonna put this 10 Australian dollars towards it. But yeah. So here we go.
Wow.
We got Nate Brown. Nate Brown has been a member for 9 months, as you see right there. That's my dude, Nate Brown. I appreciate him very much. It's always good to see him. It's always good to see him. And he's suffering from couch lock from too much weed and can't get off it. I hope that's all it is. I hope it's just something like that. I hope he's not like actually getting killed in the subway because, dude, it's New York.
Yeah.
New York's scary.
I
But yeah,
agree.
I was just out in Vegas and I was like not at any point worried about just like getting stabbed to death. But dude, like a New York subway, count me out.
Got a little Dante. I don't
Oh,
know.
dude.
Is it like Josh? Is it Dante? Let's get it.
That's one of the. I guess it's one of my cats now. Now that I'm married, I guess. But my wife's cat, she has a cat named Dante. So there you go.
Nice. There we go.
Celebrating the cat.
There we
That's
go.
what we did.
Love that.
But anyway, so Effie and I both broke down this fight. We're split on the pick. TB, be the separator. Who do you got, Bekaev or Reese?
I don't feel like I could help as much. I advocated for a pass here because while
Same.
on paper, Bekaev is going to present a few types of issues for Zach Reese. I hate how short notice it is. I hate that he's giving up a lot in the intangible department. We've seen Zach Reese even go to a decision recently, so you can take those question marks out of it. Now, I think he's probably outmatched from a technical counter-striking perspective. I think he's outmatched from a top-time wrestling perspective. But Zach Reese has got a tricky submission game. And Bekaev, he's happy to try and lay and pray, and he might slow down here. And that would be a big no-no. So I would say Bekaev decision or Zach Reese submission would be like to help you guys kind of try to split the hairs here.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were thinking too. Because like realistically, for me, Zach is too comfortable off his back for me to trust him to win, and I feel like I get frustrated betting on him, even if he's like if he's a bigger underdog, I'd absolutely pull the trigger. Like if he hits plus 200 or something like that, for sure. But I don't think I can pull the trigger at this price. And at the same time, I'm not going to bet on Bekaev as a favorite because Zach Reese is live for a knockout or a submission, honestly. Dude hits like a truck, and dude is active off his back. With that said, you don't have to bet every fight. So we're gonna pass this one. So let's see. Nate Brown says betting NBA was bad tonight. Could have been. Yeah, I haven't watched the NBA in a long time, but I sure wouldn't be betting it. If it's not MMA, I can't bet it, but that's rough. We're going to win your money back this weekend for the UFC. Don't you worry, Nate Brown. We got you, my brother. And Nate Brown's a longtime supporter on the Patreon as well. Dude just supports me everywhere. Nate, you're one of the real ones for sure, dude. So he already knows my bets. So anyway, yeah, basically pass is the idea for me in that fight. And, if you're going to play it, you kind of got to play Reese. But we can move on to the next fight on the card, which is actually this one I'm super excited for. And I'm okay. I want to break this one down last, so I'm just gonna let Effie kick this one off, regardless of what order we're at. Grant Dawson versus Carlos Diego Ferreira. I don't know why he just goes by Diego Ferreira now, but either way, Effie, kick this one off. Who do you have and why?
Oh man, might sound crazy, man, but I think Diego can make it super interesting here. I really like the get-ups from him, man. He's fought tough grapplers before that could really implement a grapple-heavy game plan for 15 minutes, and he's defended well, man. Even in his last fight against Rebetsky, he had one of the sickest get-ups of the whole year. He got both knees up, knee shield up, and basically punted him off. Like he just pushed him, like bench pressed him with his legs. And then Dawson, I mean, he's good. It sucks because it's minus 300. Like I was earlier in the week, I was like, damn, is Dawson like an easy parlay piece here? But then the more I thought about it, the more I watched, I was like, no, man, like I don't feel comfortable laying 300 here, like straight or in a parlay. But he is good, man. The takedowns are good. At pure wrestling, he probably is the better wrestler here. The ability to get the fight down probably does go to Dawson. I don't expect Diego to be shooting takedowns and with success here. But he's capable in the feet. But he's so old. He's getting up there in age, 40 years old. I wish he wasn't so old. So I do edge Grant Dawson here. I just see a little bit more pass for him to win. But like I said, I can see Diego giving some pretty good resistance in this fight, even though he's a huge underdog. I think that his skill set kind of matches up well for what Grant Dawson's going to do. So at the end of the day, though, I'm picking Grant Dawson to win the fight. I pick him to win via decision or late finish. But I'm excited for the scrambles, man. The grappling in this fight, I'm super excited for. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm actually really excited. I hope Grant gets him down, and then from there we see some cool stuff.
Absolutely, dude. The scrambles will be electric in this one. TB, who do you have in this one? What are your thoughts? Do you kind of echo what Effie said, or do you have something different?
Go Diego, go Diego, go Diego. We got plus 260. I threw a unit, plus 265 on a separate sportsbook, threw another unit. I have cash out capabilities if things don't go right on the scale. But even so, even if Diego were to miss weight here, I think he'd be cheating.
Yeah, that'd be a better
been a
thing.
lot of that recently, honestly. Mm-hmm. So I'd even feel better about it. But already beat like 60 points of line movement. You got to follow on Pickett. It's all free. You got to follow on Twitter. I'm putting them out there. But I hate to be the guy that comes on here and talks about like CLV and stuff like that. But even at plus 200, go ahead, play away. I think looking at the measurables, Dawson really has no advantage here. He's not like, he's 1 inch taller. It doesn't mean anything without a reach advantage. And Diego's got the reach advantage. Pace, Diego lands almost 2 more strikes on average per minute than his opponents. Grant Dawson from distance is basically dead even, which we kind of knew that if this fight's playing out at distance, of course you don't want Grant Dawson. That goes for basically the majority of Grant Dawson fights. But as Effie talked about, when we get into wrestling, the scrambles, like Diego is as high class as it gets, avoiding control time. At a certain point, if you're a high level enough grappler, you're going to be able to settle in after a few takedown attempts. And we'll get to how good like Dariush is later on the card. But even a guy like Gamrot is just relentless takedown entries. Coming into the fight with a pre-injured rib, yeah, it's not going to feel great as it goes on. But if he was still having those issues, we would have seen that in the Rebetsky matchup as well. I mean, he could have got himself out of there in round 1 if he really didn't want to be there anymore. He could have just stopped trying to fight and the ref would have ended it for him. He gets knocked down, he gets hurt. But none of those threats exist against a guy like Dawson on the feet. So if he knows all he has to worry about is defending takedowns, not allowing a body triangle and getting to the feet, look, it's the guru back again. Mr. Man Bun himself, Uncle June. But appreciate my dog, my co-host over at Chronic Combat, the man himself, just finished our show and here to support me. What a good guy. But yeah, I got Diego here, man. I think there is a universe that we live in where Grant Dawson just gets at least 10 minutes of back control time with a body triangle and ends up winning a 29-28 decision or a 30-27 decision. I don't see a world where he finishes Diego. I can't project that, quite frankly. So yeah, I'm going Diego here. That's my play.
Okay, this is why I'm so glad that I went last, because we got to talk a little bit here.
Let's talk.
I think there's still value on the Dawson line. I think okay, here's the deal. Nate Brown's comment here is exactly what I needed to point out, because he said, no way I could bet Dawson. I don't know that I've ever bet Dawson to win a fight. Dawson's lost 2 fights in his entire career. One was the Bobby Green loss. I get it. His other loss was in 2016. Okay. So
What about the draw? What about the draw?
Did he win that fight? Did he win that fight? Huh? What happened in that fight?
That was a pop. That was a push. So don't get me wrong. I understand why like people want to fade Dawson really bad, and then like they see then when they finally got that moment when Bobby Green knocked him out, he caught him cold. It happens. It could happen to anybody. That was like, oh, I can never bet this guy again. But when you look at what Brent Dawson has done to most of the guys he's fought, especially like Demir was a guy that everybody was super high on. Dawson ragdolled that man and treated him like he didn't belong in the UFC, sent him packing essentially. And people are like, oh, but what about Rebecki or Rebeshki? I think is how you say it. They're like, oh, you know, CDF already fraud checked him or whatever it was. But like, dude, you know what Dawson does to a guy like Mateusz Rebeshki? Like, he not only catches him on the first day of school, takes his lunch money, but before he leaves this interaction, he gets him to agree to not only give up his lunch money for the rest of the school year, but his girlfriend's lunch money along with it because, like, dude's got no chance. Dawson dog walks that guy, no problem. I don't think the levels are the same. Dawson's going to be able to get the takedowns, and I understand CDF's really good in scrambles. He's dangerous on the feet. Could he crack Dawson and put him out? Sure. That's his path to victory here. He's not subbing Dawson. He's not going to out-scramble him and outwork him. He's not going to be the more physical grappler. I think Dawson beats him more often than 90%, for sure. Like, I just don't see a world where a 40-year-old CDF is able to keep up with the pace and the pressure of Grant Dawson. He needs that flash knockout. That's what I need. So, and there you go. Defend himself there. He just avoids the fights. I don't blame you for that. There's nothing wrong with just avoiding the fight. That's totally okay. Oh, good news. I just heard from Couch. He's not dead.
Nice.
He did die.
Oh.
Yes.
I was worried.
Search party.
He was sick and fell asleep. Okay. No worries. We don't have to worry about that. As long as he's not dead, we're okay. Yes. That's all we needed to see. I was actually kind of worried. But point is, for Dawson, I think this is easy money. And maybe I'm going to look like a total doofus come Saturday. And if so, you guys feel free to at me on Twitter. That's totally fine. It just, boosts the followers and stuff. It's cool. But the point is, I think Dawson makes this look easy.
If I'm CDF, man, I'm pumping crazy amounts of steroids right now. Like if I lose, I'm probably cut. 4 years old. I'll go to GFL, bro. Get drafted this week.
Dude, true.
But yeah,
the draft is on the 24th. Yeah, he could totally do that.
Let's go.
Okay, that's an idea. But I don't think all the steroids in the world are going to save him from this. I think he's toast. I think Dawson's too good. Dawson's so good.
Steroids.
Dawson is way good. Like, and people are like, this, that, and the other. He's not that good. Dude. He's like, who has he not manhandled outside of when he got flash knocked out in the first couple seconds?
Yeah, grappled an Olympic silver medalist. Pretty easy. But I fool had no gas. He gets tired like after 5 minutes.
But he grappled him the whole time, and like Dawson was like a high school wrestler that I don't even think wrestled all 4 years. Didn't make state, none of that stuff. Like he was just like a regular ass high school wrestler. So
that's crazy.
I think Dawson just gonna ragdoll him. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's where I'm at. I gotta catch up with the chat quick. We got a bunch of people here. So, Kiwi, dude, good to see you. It's always nice seeing Kiwi Brew. I don't see him as often as I used to. Dude, busier these days, it seems, but it's so good to see you, my friend. I'm so glad that you're back. Always good to see you. And everybody else telling Kiwi what's up. So that's always awesome as well. Let's see here. Big step up in competition for Dawson, just like in the Bobby Green fight. I don't know that it is. I think Demir was a bigger step up in competition than CDF at that point, but maybe I'm wrong. He's a live underdog. I get it. I don't know about that. I definitely don't know about that. I think Rebecki gets destroyed by Dawson. Yes. Okay. Ken knows what's up. Gotta go with Grant. You can bounce a quarter off that thing, Dawson. Let's go.
Forgot about that.
Dude, that was one of the best post-fight interviews. Like, gosh, that was great. That was sick. Okay. And Barry Fisherman clapping because Couch isn't dead. That's so good. That's so good. Old guy's looking better since there's no USADA. I agree. That's a thing. But I don't think it's going to save him in this one.
Him and Barcelos. Hoping they're sharing the needle.
Yeah, that's it. Could be. Dude, Barcelos is going to need more than that too, but we'll get to that one in a minute. But yeah, so interesting stuff. We all kind of. I'm surprised I'm the only one that's like high on Dawson here. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. I'm like, cause like the dude's like minus 250, ain't he? Still minus.
I saw 300.
236, dude. Money's coming on the other side. Oh my goodness, yo, your boy might be betting a money line on Dawson again. I already have on a parlay. I might bet a money line on him too.
Oh crap! It's way low now. It's crazy.
Wackenbush, what's up, dude? How you doing? Love my analysis. I appreciate that. Tell you what, stay in the chat. Ask everything you want. Let's keep chatting. I love it. But yes, let's move on to the next one while we wait for Couch Warrior because it sounds like he's jumping on. Based on the messages I've been like trying to read as I'm also giving my breakdowns.
This is like the MJ flu game.
Yes, it's exactly like that. Oh wait, here's Couch.
Oh,
dude, I found him
with the
We
vengeance.
genuinely were worried.
Yeah, no, I'm just sick. And I fell asleep.
Dude, we thought you like died in the subway or something there in New York.
Yeah.
It's possible.
We were gonna send TB like so earlier. Dad
we were like,
$10. We were gonna use that as the Couch Warrior finding. We were gonna hire a private investigator and stuff to like find you. Like, dude, we were worried about you.
My bad, boys. My bad.
And you can see Barry Fisherman was genuinely concerned about you. He lives.
I'm sorry, Barry. Appreciate
Brother,
you. Brother,
we were concerned.
What'd I miss?
We're so glad you made it. We're so glad.
I'm glad,
like,
bro.
Dude,
Missed it all.
Everyone's glad. I'm glad too.
My bad though. My bad.
Glad
Glad
you should. Or,
okay. I tell you what. Couch, if you have any strong takes on any of the fights, Grant Dawson, Diego Ferreira before, drop them now. Otherwise, we can kind of circle back or whatever. But if you have any strong takes on those, let's hear them.
Yeah, no, it's Tagir. I like Tagir, Sopaj, Nakamura, Rosa, Dawson. Yeah, I think all the favorites win.
Oh, you're
no
on
hot
Dawson.
takes.
Thank goodness.
Boo, Dawson. Boo.
Dude, because I'm on an island here, I thought.
You were the only one?
I picked him too, dude. I had to pick him too.
Oh, yeah, Jeffy picked him, but he was like...
I was scared, though. I'm like, I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super confident. Like, I didn't bet on him. I bet the over.
Oh, really?
I took the 2.5.
Decision if I was taking Dawson's side.
Dawson decisions plus 150, and then Dawson round 3 decision was plus 100. And I thought about that because I think he might be able to break him. But then at the same time, it's like, if I'm getting plus 100 for him to win by decision or in the 3rd round, why wouldn't I just take the over 2.5 at minus 125? I'm giving up 2.5 minutes, but then if CDF wins a decision or a late finish, I still cash.
Yeah. Smart play. Smart play. This guy's using his noggin.
This is something something I wanted to bring up. I meant to bring this up actually when we were breaking down the Bekaweb fight. Both of the guys that were like the last minute replacements on this card have really impressive wins on their amateur record. But like their best win, like they peaked as amateur, like their best wins on their amateur record. Like Billy Elikana, the win over Brian Battle, dude, that's aged amazing. And
you guys broke down Bekov too?
Yeah, Bekaweb, we already went over the Bekaweb Reese fight. Dude, Bekaweb beat Umlatov on the amateur circuit. Like, what?
He had some good wins in ACA too. That dude's good. I'm on him. I bet him at minus 190.
Bekaweb?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was staying away because I'm worried about like short notice, all that good stuff. So
I'm not super worried about short notice. He's done 5 rounds, and it's not like I'm not convinced Reese has amazing cardio either. It's not like he faced any resistance whatsoever from what's his face. So it's like I don't think there's gonna be a cardio problem really. I'm more concerned about he does seem a little chinny to me.
Yeah.
Like Budka hurt him a few times. He recovers well, but he definitely seems like he can get hurt. And Reese hits like a train. So that's my only concern. But I feel like he's just going to take him down.
Yeah, dude, Reese could knock out an elephant, let alone like a human. So
probably.
Especially when everybody was talking about the new gloves not producing knockouts, Reese did not care one bit and like still starching people. Like,
are we back for good now with the old gloves?
No, he did that with like the new gloves, the ones that didn't.
No, I'm saying, are we back to the old gloves now?
Oh yeah, we're back. Right? Yeah,
we're back.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good to hear. Okay, we can just pick up on the next fight, and we'll just go from there. Bogdan Guskov, Billy Elikana. Let's see. I think Couch started on the last one. We'll start with TB. Or no, Couch. Effie started on the last one. I'm used to Couch being
I
the top
wasn't
right.
even here.
Couch is
I'm
like,
used to you being the top right corner, so it throws me off. Okay, so we'll start with TB, and we'll just go from there. Effie's playing the co-host today because he subbed in for the sit Couch. Couch is now coming out. So there we go. That was a sports ball reference. You guys hear me? Are you proud?
Look at you.
Look at that.
Sports ball?
Yeah, dude, sports ball, like ball sports. Sports you play with
Oh,
ball.
okay.
Yeah. All right.
You enjoy playing with
kick us
balls.
off. What's up, dude?
All right, NoHo Hank here. He should get it done. Bogdan Guskov. Ultimately, he's got way more power. I think he's gonna just be the better fast twitch athlete. And Elikana doesn't really do much to threaten a finish here against a guy that is most vulnerable if you can produce finishes. Like Guskov's chin is not the best. He also doesn't have the best grappling defense. But Elikana's just trying to like pitter patter from distance or sit in top control safely. And I don't like it for him. I would say like Bogdan round 1, round 2. I wouldn't recommend parlaying Bogdan just for its sketchy reasons. He's just someone that I don't think I have a high level of trust in, given that he's losing every fight until he wins it, essentially. But yeah, I think he should win by finish and fast, but no money involved on my end. I'll pass it off here.
Word. Couch Warrior, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I don't think much. I didn't really even bother going into this one too much. I've been waiting because I know I'm not going to bet Bogdan. I know that much for 100% certain. And I'm just waiting. I'm probably going to tape it like maybe tonight or tomorrow, tape it like for real. Look into Elikana. I know him. I bet against him when he fought what's his name? The dude Chuck Campbell. I bet Chuck as a moderate underdog if I'm not mistaken. And I got robbed. In my opinion. But from what I remember, Elikana stands tall. He's pretty hittable. Not super chinny, but like he's not really fighting crazy power punchers either. He's kind of a nothing burger to me. I feel like he doesn't do anything spectacular. He does things decently well. He can grapple. Okay. I remember him getting some takedowns. I think he could take some takedowns. Look, I do trust his cardio more. Bogdan's been out of the first round however many times, not many, but he's never left the second round except once, and he lost that fight. That was back in the day, though. I think it was like his second or third or fourth fight. So for me, it's like, can Elikana just survive the first round? Because then he's probably live. He's decently skilled. He could grapple. He could strike. He's not a bad striker from what I remember either. I think he has some jits. So I need to tape it some more. I just know for a fact I don't think Bogdan's good at all. So I'm not going to bet on him. He's a decent striker and he hits really, really hard. So Bogdan round 1 makes sense, I guess. And it's not like Elikana really protects his face too much. But after the first round, I don't really know how much he's going to have. I know he's had some round 2 finishes. I think his last fight was a round 2 finish. It was a span, right?
Yes.
And yeah, not super crazy about this fight, so we can move on.
Yeah, for me, it's like I couldn't play Guskov as a favorite, honestly, because like Couch said, he's not that good, but he does hit really hard. And Elikana is so willing just to back up, like straight up. And he's gonna run out of space if he sees backing straight up. There's some things I really like about Elikana's game, but there's some things I really don't. And the backing straight up is something I really don't like. And that's a problem here against Guskov. The things I do like is he is able to kick off of either leg without switching stances, which not many fighters can do for some reason. I thought it was just like you should be able to do that, but not many fighters do. They just don't do it, I guess. But he does it very well, so I do like that. And I do like that he's willing to throw the combinations and just keep them coming throughout the fight. He doesn't really he slows down in one sense, but he doesn't his output doesn't drop off. Like he'll look tired more, but his output's still there. And if he gets on top, he's pretty decent at holding it. So I do like some stuff. It's just I don't like him enough to bet him against Guskov because I think Guskov can crush him because Guskov hits really hard. So there's that. And it's kind of okay. Yeah, right there. Like you said, he can fight out of both stances and stuff like that. Yeah. Nate's onto that. He has a decent leg kick and fight out of both stances. He can also kick off of either leg without switching stances too. So the dude's dynamic. I love to see that. So, it's one of those things. God doesn't cover her podcast question with their nails lettuce. Yeah,
That's
true.
pretty good. I
It's-
never even thought of that.
that's hilarious.
You just have a head of lettuce. That's the most you
It's
thing
like-
I've ever seen.
Dude,
it's
what's
like toilet
funny is
paper
it's not
or
even
something.
mine, it's Kendra's.
That's too good.
Because it's her kitchen. I guess dark kitchen now. I don't know how it works when you get married. I don't know. Isn't it like what's mine is hers?
Oh yeah,
what's hers is
congrats, dude.
yours? Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah.
Wait, so you guys aren't living in the metal shack?
No, so I kept it because that's where my YouTube studio is, and like I still need like my like workshop out there and stuff like that. So I still have it, but
That's where you go if the zombies come.
Yeah, exactly. That's
You
another
have to
reason.
keep
I was
it.
kind of like, we can't get rid of this because when the bombs start falling or the zombies come, like we gotta go here. So it's nice to have a bulletproof bunker in the woods. So you know what I mean. And so Kendra can keep her last poster behind me. You know, how is his Billy's chin is? I mean, it's fine. Like he hasn't shown any reasons to like be concerned about it. So I don't think it's worry. Vikings never wore horns. Is this a thing? I've never heard this.
My wife took offense.
What the hell?
Your wife? Because I'm not married yet.
Oh yeah, there you go. I don't know.
I'm
What.
engaged.
Choose now.
There you go.
I think he's talking about his wife.
Yes.
Maybe.
She took offense because Vikings never wore horns.
Oh, did they not wear horns? I don't know. I don't know much about Vikings.
Well, then where the hell does that come from?
Where does
Yeah,
that
she's
come
definitely
from?
wrong,
Yeah,
guys.
Daz.
She's
Huh.
definitely wrong. There's no way.
There's no way.
What, let me guess. They didn't use
Yeah,
boats
it's
next.
pretty offensive.
I hate lettuce. I fuck
Really?
with spinach, not lettuce.
Really?
Really?
I love lettuce.
Like, I mean, they're both fine. I don't know. I don't really have like a strong take, I guess. Nate's weighing in on the chin. Let's see. Billy, yeah, there you go. Yeah, he is a bit Samoan, so he does have that chin there. Makes him tough. That's a true. It's like we were saying. There are certain parts of the world where like your genetics result in a better chin, and Samoa is definitely up there as one of the best chins. Like way up there. It might be the best chin. Like you got guys like Mark Hunt out there, just like.
I have a new
Oh, that
video
was the
idea
next
for you, Tyler.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
This is something you would do 100%. You bring a bunch of different kind of people, Samoans, Mexican fighters, and
Okay.
you take turns whacking them with a plank of wood, and you see who has the strongest chin.
Oh man, this sounds a lot like too much like something I can't say on YouTube without getting demonetized. So I don't know, but we can move on because we've got a lot of chat coming in, and that's a wild slippery slope to go down there. We got to get back to the breakdown in a minute, but this chat's popping off. So, dude, I like if the zombies showed up, man, I'd be so stoked. Let's be honest. Ignoring the next comment for that. I don't know what world that was, so we're just gonna keep on moving.
What on earth is that?
Yes, I'm just gonna have a spinach poster next live. Let's go. That would be great,
You think they sell those on Amazon?
dude. I bet you could find one on Amazon. Just like it'll just like say spinach or whatever.
You can get anything on Amazon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can
True.
probably get a custom
There's
poster that says
crazy
spinach.
vegans.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, Billy does have good takedown defense, that's for sure. Yeah, the only thing that concerns me is like he's gonna get cracked at some point. I just don't know if it's gonna put him out. That's the thing. Like he'll definitely get cracked because Goosecoff hits hard. Can't stand the leafy greens. It's tapeworm. Dude, the tapeworm diet used to be all the rage back in like the 80s, where you give yourself a tapeworm so you didn't gain weight. Horrible for you.
That's crazy.
Dude, it's a real thing. Like that used to like Google it. It's like crazy, man. Like that was a thing people did in the 80s. His fight IQ, yeah, he won't shoot takedowns, at least from what I know. He only seems to get takedowns if somebody like tries to pull Billy or something on him and he like ends up on top. So yeah, I'm outright for a pick. I'm picking Goosecoff. I have next to zero confidence in it. Maybe I'm just too much of a coward and I'm picking the favorite. Effie's still got to break this one down. What do you have on this? Let's get back on track here.
5 units on Billy. No, I was playing.
That'd be crazy.
Goosecoff's just gonna bonk him, and basically he hits super fucking hard, and I think Billy's gonna be there to be hit. There's really not much to add. We all kind of see it the same way. Super short notice. Out of the 2 guys that got signed, he's probably worse. And dude, Bogdan, regardless of who he's fighting, hits super hard. So Yeah, I'm expecting him to get knocked out here. I don't know if it's gonna be round 1 or round 2, but I do agree with Tyler. Interested to see if he doesn't get it early, how he looks as it goes. But yeah, Bogdan to knock this dude's head off. So yeah, that's why I pick him via KO.
Yeah, and I think like Billy's got a spot in the UFC. I just think this is a tough, like it's just this. This is a tough fight on short notice, honestly. Like if he went out there and fought somebody that's just like a guy that wants to shoot takedowns on him, he might be able to do something. But Cusco's gonna throw hammers. So we can move on. And here we go. Now we're getting to some of the wild, fun fights. We have Jailton Almeida taking on Sergey Spivak. And this one, to me, is a very fun fight. And Couch is going to kick this one off. What do you got, Couch? My coming off the bench on this one. I know this is going to be tough for you to make a breakdown first in this one, but I think you can handle it. What do you got, dude?
This is the first bet I made. I made it weeks ago when Jailton was like minus 300. I just said screw it, and I just laid 3 units on Jailton to win 1. I feel like he's just going to take down Spivak. I don't think Spivak's going to be able to get up off of his back. He's not getting taken down a ton, but when he is getting taken down, his get-ups are not that great. He gets stuck. I think Jailton is just a different kind of beast when it comes to physicality, athleticism, explosiveness, strength. He's just a beast. And I wish he had more in the striking department. He's just got like a jab and a kick, and that's kind of all he has. And Spivak low-key is a better striker if they're actually going to strike for 15 minutes, but they're not going to. Almeida just doesn't do that. There's a reason he has like 5 or 6 significant strikes per fight, because he's immediately going for takedowns, immediately going for the subs, and he's really good on the ground. I think his jiu-jitsu is better than Spivak's. I think he'll get that control. I think he probably subs him in like the second round, but a decision isn't out of the question either. I kind of thought about like the over 1.5. It was like minus 105. Which makes sense because they're both grapplers, usually brings you over, but I don't want to mess with it. And I got my 3 units down. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Word. I don't blame you there. Quackenbush, that's a wild question. And honestly, I wouldn't pay for the jar. However, if I came into possession of one, I would resell it online because somebody out there wants to pay for that. There is somebody out there that would pay for that. So of all the wild things you could say on this one, there is a market for it. I'm just not the buyer. So
Tyler's a capitalist.
That's right. I'm always the capitalist. You got me. You got me there. Nothing's free in this world, and that jar is definitely, there's a market for that. Yeah, Jonathan ground and pound. Ooh, that I can see. I can definitely see it, and we'll kick off my breakdown with that. Jonathan's getting the takedown. He's absolutely getting the takedown. It's just, what does he do with it from there? Because could he lay on him for the whole fight, just like he did with Derek Lewis? Yeah, good. I think he's more likely to try to go for the finish here, though, because I think at some point he's going to want a title shot, right? And realistically, the UFC is never going to give him one if he just gets a bunch of them finishes, or a bunch of those decisions, especially like we saw in the Derek Lewis fight. So I think he needs to get a finish at some point. So I would like to see a ground and pound. I think that's what he's going to get. We've seen Spivak in rough spots like that before, where like he's starting to get hit and dude's like, oh, screw this, I don't like that. So, but I think he's savvy enough on the ground that he could survive the subs. So I think the ground and pound's live. That'll be what I'll take for a pick as far as like what I think he's going to do. But yeah, I could definitely see that being the way. You got it, dude. I'm always here for you. And yes, you do have to pay for them markers somehow. So the capitalist in me is here. But Effie, what do you think? You on Jailton or Spivak?
I'm on Jailton. No bet for me here. I only have 2 bets on the card, so I gotta get a little bit more. But yeah, this line surprised me though, man. Sergey, in my opinion, he's a fighter that's gotten better and better. Like he really has improved a lot in striking. His physique, even he's coming in more strength. He's working with Nixon at Extreme Couture. Like he's getting in good work and progressing his career. Lost to Suragan, one of the best fighters in the division. But I like his judo. I think he's a good grappler when he's on top. But I really agree with what Couch said, man. I just can't get past the fact of Almeida's physicality, man. This guy's a freak athlete. And to me, bro, Curtis Blades is the best grappler or wrestler in the heavyweight division. He ragdolled him. Like he lost so stupidly and embarrassingly with those elbows. Like it is really a bummer. And sometimes that can be really good for a guy's career. It's a really good lesson to learn. Like you can't just be shooting in your stupid head like outside like that. But dude, the facts are the facts. He was taking him down, putting him back. He was getting up, he was putting him back down over and over again. Curtis is a really competent grappler. That's not easy to do. So, like, I really agree with what Tyler said right when he ended. He was like, at the end of the day, like, Alton's getting this takedown. So, from there though, when he's on top, like, he's not the greatest finisher. Derek Lewis basically survived by being more like just fat. He's just so fat. His body type's so hard to get around. He couldn't get the hair and arm choke. He couldn't ground and pound him out. He's too tired. Like, but I'm giving Derek Lewis credit for that. Like, I don't want to take anything away from Jonathan. Jonathan still did what he was supposed to do. So I know he couldn't finish him and went 5 rounds, but like he's just so good of a grappler, man. He can transition. He can pass this dude's guard. I don't think that if Sergey's off his back, he's going to be able to keep up with Jonathan. So I think he does get a finish. I think it's a ground pound finish from Mount in the second round. So I think Jonathan finishes him in this fight.
Let's go. That ground and pound finish. And we know Daz is looking for that. He's got plus 310 on the KO. TB, do you echo the same sentiment? What do you think?
Echo. Yeah, you guys nailed it. I mean, Sergey, what I can add to you, recently married, enjoying his time traveling. It's what we're seeing the most of. Not really seeing a lot of those extreme, hitting the pads, all that stuff. Not quite the same dedication. And, listen, I get it. Getting your lunch money taken by Cyril Gahn.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the one that organized Cyril Gahn's home invasion, though. So maybe that was the long game. Yeah, he got his house broken into during that fight. Marcin Tybura, armbar from guard, just like everyone predicted. Try doing that against. Look at this bicep of like Jalton Almeida. That's not happening. All right, he's just gonna pick you up and slam you, Cody Brundage style. Yeah, it's disgusting. Give me Almeida. I like the knockout thought.
Mm-hmm.
But to your guys' point, he could do it any which way. If you're going to do a parlay, I've decided I have a rule now. You get 1 a week. You can use 1 to 2 units. That's about it. We're not doing 3 to 4 parlays. We're not taking all the you're allowed to do 1. Everyone's a degenerate, right? We all got that itch. And sometimes you need to do something. Well, Charlton will be part of that, okay? We'll have a few others. Sometimes it's okay to do it. Minus 485, it's better value than minus 1050, right? I guess. It's still not great. So not something I would super advocate for, but you guys nailed it. Knockout is a super fun prop to take a little play on.
Honestly, I don't even worry about just playing the money line. Like, what does Spivak do to beat Charlton? I don't see it. Like, I don't.
He stuffs every takedown, outstrikes him, mixes in some wrestling.
No.
Yeah.
None of these are even like realities.
That's how it happens.
Like super compromised or something.
Jumps guillotine.
Armbar
from guard.
No way. That's
right,
the thing. Like, I don't see it. I don't see it. And like Spivak is not a striker at all.
I think they have 2 different speeds in grappling. I really think that Jalton is just so much faster in the grappling exchanges.
You glass in the foot. Here you go again.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that could happen. Yeah.
Part of the world. There's a certain part of the world where you stop because you got glass in the foot. You don't do that if you're Brazilian. They're used to walking on glass there, dude. It's like a thing. So I'm gonna say right. I'm gonna say that the money line is still safe for Jonathan, even at minus 430 or whatever he's at right now. I think it's still good. I think it's playable. But yeah, everybody's went through that one. We're on the same page. That's good to hear. I love it when we're on the same page. I have to kick this next one off, and it's another one which I would assume we're on the same page, but maybe not. We have Peyton Talbot taking on Raoni Barcelos. And guys, Peyton Talbot's winning the fight. He's going to. And I was like looking at it the other day, like, what number do I think it would have to get to for me to play Raoni Barcelos? And like, it's an unrealistic number. Like, it's just not a number that like you just throw money away. Could he win? I guess. But this isn't the Raoni Barcelos that was like, coming into the UFC looking pretty good on a big win streak, things like that. He's slowing down, and you've seen it in his fights. He's not as quick as he used to be. The dude doesn't have the same like willingness to go out there and make it gritty. He doesn't have the same like oomph on everything. Talbot's tough too, and he just keeps getting better. So, dude, I think Talbot's going to beat him up. I think he's going to beat him up bad. It's going to be sad to watch because Barcelos is like, he's a guy that you want to root for. You want to root for the guy. Like we've seen him in many a fight. We've seen him in good fights. He's a guy that's cashed as an underdog many a time for me. I don't think this is it. I think he's getting cooked here. So I don't think it's going to be close. Let's throw this out here. Let's see. Marab to win. Okay, interesting. All right, looking sharp. Got it. We wanted the vet lesson. Okay, and then Barcelos for the upset. Interesting.
Oh.
I don't know about Barcelos on the upset. I don't think
Okay.
so. I think Talbot easy. So, but yeah, Effie, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like CDF earlier. I wish Rioni wasn't so old, bro. Like he's so skilled, very good wrestler, very good striking, good speed. He's dangerous. He has a good fight IQ. Like this guy fights, man. He fights for your money. I really like him as a fighter, and he was actually doing well against Umar before getting slept. That was a good step up for Umar. We'll talk about him later, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think he's going to lose the fight. You know, we can talk about minus 1400 and what it does for your parlays and everything, but obviously the books are saying you got to find some other way to bet this bet. No one's going to be, laying that. As far as how the fight ends, man, I think Talbot can catch him. I want to see the grappling though. I want to see Barcelos shoot on this guy. I want to see him get tested in some scrambles here. I hope it's not one way traffic. I hope Payne gets pushed a little bit. I wouldn't be shocked if he does. But at the end of the day, I gotta go Payne Talbot. I think Payne Talbot wins the fight. I think he actually catches him in that second or third round and knocks him out.
Yeah, I'm sure Barcelos will have the opportunity to shoot a takedown or so, but like even the guys that are getting Talbot down, they're not holding him down typically, and they're not having a high success rate either. So like dude's getting back up quick, or he's stuffing a ton of them. TV, what are your thoughts on this one?
In his last fight against Yanis Gamori, I beat significant line movement, taking like over 1.5 at minus 110, and just got absolutely cooked as Gamori was brutally finished fast. I'm debating
a few seconds.
Yeah, I'm like debating. I mean, over 1.5, I'm seeing like minus 160 on DraftKings. I don't know. Is how shot is Howney Barcelos? Does he have any type of this defensive wherewithal? Talbot seems like he's got to land like at least a few strikes in combination against, legitimate fighters. Can Barcelos get any amount of control? I don't think Barcelos is finishing Payton Talbot. Shout out to 138 for the T1000 nickname. I still remember that one being fire. But yeah, I think Talbot overall, I mean, yeah, like add him to your Jalton Almeida, whatever. He's not going to give you any value, but if you want to have a cute winning ticket with an extra leg added on it, I don't know, bet 365. They'll give you a little more of a boost for each leg you add. So I don't do whatever you need, unless you're already limited there. If you're actually good at betting, you'll probably get limited. So yeah, I don't know, not much to do on this fight, but we'll have some fun. Maybe the over.
I get that. The over, it's going to be sweaty, but it's tempting.
Sweaty. Big time.
Very, very sweaty. Like I'm sweating just thinking about it. Couch, what about you, dude?
Come on, you know me. There's zero chance you give me someone like Roni at this price and I'm not on it. There's zero chance of such thing happening. I got Roni at plus 900. I put a quarter unit on it. Is it going to lose? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's probably going to lose. Talbot's probably going to stop shaking your head, Tyler. Talbot's probably going to knock him out pretty quick. Way faster. Fights at range. Roni, I love the guy. I backed him heavy against Christian Quinones, and he didn't make me feel very comfortable in that fight. I felt like he definitely is going on a downtrend. But at the end of the day, Aguirre did take him down, Tyler, and he took him down once in the first round, and he kept them down the entire time. And then, yes, then he struggled, and then Payton picked him apart. But that's also Nick Aguirre. I think even at this stage of his career, I think that I would take Barcelos over Aguirre, and I would take Barcelos over Aguirre in a wrestling match as well. I think Barcelos is a much better wrestler. I think he's a completely different level of jiu-jitsu that Talbot has never been around. And I just think that at the end of the day, if Raoni does get it to the ground, there's more than a zero chance that he can get a submission. I think there's a decent chance he can get a sub. I think there is more of a 10% chance than a 10% chance of Raoni winning. So I put a quarter unit at plus 900. I'm going to cheer for it. If it loses, it loses. But if it wins, then I look smart.
That's true. Yeah, you look like a genius, dude, because not many people are on that side. And dude, I
just
think
playing numbers, really man. Just playing numbers. I'd bet I would bet Talbot if he was plus 900 too.
Oh well, yeah, I would empty my bank account and take out a loan. Like
it's a big theme for the card. It's just some of the numbers are just so crazy. You're just like, dude, this should be closer than that is.
I don't even know that it's the card or that's just the state of MMA these days.
Yeah,
it's
lines are getting difficult now.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, oh yeah, right there. I mean, it's possible. It's not likely.
No, I'm with Daz. That's exactly what happens.
There you go. Let's hope for it for you guys.
That's our best chance, Daz. He's got to catch him by surprise.
Yeah, I just don't think so. I think Taba's too good. I think
He's
he's
a
actually
stud,
real
bro. He's
deal.
a stud. I was actually kind of surprised that Talbot KO is only minus 175.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know
'cause
some people are trying to go the decision angle, but like realistically, if you don't think Rohny can sub him or take him down, then why
Just
are
get
you
it
not betting the KO? Because he's much slower. He's very hittable these days. He didn't react well to punches against Quinones. So
Yeah.
if you think Rohny can get takedowns and possibly sub him, you should be on the Rohny money line. And if you don't, and you like Talbot, I feel like you should probably play the KO.
Wasn't Quinones up on the scorecard when he?
I don't remember what the official scorecards are, but as someone who had like 3 units on Rohny, I thought that he was losing. I thought
Right.
that he was turning it around, but I was not comfortable with it going to the judges. So I was hyped when he got the finish, but I wasn't happy with that bet afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Talbot is leaps and bounds ahead of Quinones. So, not that Quinones is terrible. He's just not. I mean,
It's funny how you
Talbot-
remember those. You're like, fuck, I remember I had a bet on it, so I definitely know the fight was going this way.
especially if it's got you sweating. It's a real
Yeah.
thing. You remember the ones that you sweat. That's for
I was
sure.
so confident, man. I was like, this is levels. And then I was like, no, this doesn't look like levels.
It's kind of like I'm forever going to remember the Volkov versus Tuivasa fight because I had the over 1.5 and it cashed by like 2 seconds. And like, dude, it was the sweatiest. Like I was literally sweating through my t-shirt at that point, but because I was so nervous. But so like those ones that are like, oh man, like those are, you remember those, you know, those are the ones. I mean, to be fair,
Whoa.
I'll give you that.
Well, why is Cerrone catching strays?
Yeah, whoa, that's crazy. That's a crazy stray.
Dude, it's fair enough. We'll give it to him at this point. I just
Talking
hate
about
Cerrone's-
Cerrone
He's
Barcelos
overweight,
being
too.
possibly washed, and he just goes after Cerrone.
That's
Dude.
hilarious, dude.
You know what? Let's throw it straight.
I
Dude,
love
I'm kinda,
that.
like, it bothers me that the dude's allowed to go out and
Badass.
take steroids for however long and then just come back like it's no
Yeah,
big deal.
that
It's so
dude, that's insane. That's insane. You just leave, come back, go do steroids, and still fight.
Yeah. Openly taking steroids. Like, dude should be getting some
crazy.
get a little bit stray from that. You know what I mean? So, oh, here you go. Talbot KO round 2, 350, and round 3 is 450. I mean, those lines are not great, but like it's probably because that's the most likely outcome.
Yeah, it's like any Herbert Burns fight. Round 2 and round 3 is always that around that
Sure.
price. Does Mick Pooperton do this to all your videos?
Probably.
He
Yeah.
comes on every single one of my videos and it's just like, I just finished pooping.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, his name is literally Mick Pooperton.
that's hilarious.
But Mick Pooperton's great. He's a channel member, so always been here, always doing the darn thing. I'm always team Mick Pooperton. So funny dude too. Like always just throwing wild stuff out there. All right, where are we at? We're at Kevin Holland versus Rainer Ritter. I believe this puts us at the main card. All right, son of a gun. Here we are, boys. Main card. We're about an hour and a half in. We've got all 4 of our guests now, believe it or not. It was, it was wild. Let's see. Oh yeah, there you go. Let's go ahead and break
so
down
funny.
this
I was like, what the hell?
Holland versus the Ritter fight.
That's so funny.
Effie's kicking this one off. Holland or the Ritter? What do you got?
Yeah, dude. So for this fight, I can see why someone would have a strong opinion on either side. I only have 2 bets this week, and I was considering a third on this fight. I was considering RDR here, but I really don't like betting guys that are just basically one-dimensional unless they're fighting someone that is really vulnerable to that one area. And it kind of lines up a little bit here. Holland's takedown defense not the best. In general, like backing Kevin Holland isn't the greatest either. Like this guy can get in his head. He's more of a showman than someone trying to make a streak or a run to a belt. He's trying to please the fans. But the facts are like RDR did not look very good against GM3. Someone that I thought he should have ran through, especially with his skill set. He was struggling to get takedowns. Like obviously, he can't strike the best. He's not that clean, not that fast. He's hittable, a little bit slow, and he gets tired. The cardio was a real big red flag. I know he got the submission from bottom, but I mean, this guy is way bigger, I think. I don't know if you guys watching Betted today. They had a clip of Kevin Holland running into Jamal Hill, and Kevin Holland's like, dude, this dude is not 6'4". Like, he's like 6'2". Like, they got this all wrong. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, if I was on RDR, I wouldn't like that. But I just think that he's a bigger guy. I think he actually, to me, like, I do think that he'll get a takedown. I think he gets a takedown here early in the first round. And if that happens, I don't want to have money on Kevin Holland. But then it's like, dude, if it goes like longer, like he's gonna get picked apart, in my opinion. I think that Kevin Holland is just way faster on the feet. He has way more varieties of strikes, and he's just cleaner, man. So it's just one of those weird fights where one guy plays into the other's weakness, and I'm still not as confident because he looked kind of bad, in my opinion, against GM3. So I'm going with RDR. I was still considering a money line, but now it looks like it's growing a little bit, so I'll probably still stay away. I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative this year. Don't want to bet too much every card. But yeah, give me RDR. I think he gets a submission, but it's super reliant on his ability to take it down. So I'm excited for this one, man. Really good fight.
Yeah, dude, this is a close fight, so I get that. MMA Club's supposed to do a parlay at the end. We might be able to throw one together. We'll see what's up. I think we can probably do it. Shouldn't be too tough. So, yeah. So we'll move on to TB's turn. TB, what do you have for the DeRitter versus Holland fight?
Biggest bet of the night for me. I am on the Renier DeRitter side. I jumped on probably 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, whenever lines were dropping. It was open for a decent bit, though. I put down a couple of units at plus 130. Felt good enough to throw a couple more down at plus 128. We've seen significant movement since then. I've got it spread out across a couple different books. They do offer a cash out, but I'm not looking to use it. I think DeRitter at the face-off today at Media Day, he is significantly thicker than Kevin Holland. It's not even close. There might be close in height because wearing the Timberland boots might have given DeRitter a little bit extra, but he was taller, but he's way thicker. And the fight that stands out to me, it's not even necessarily, like the Roman Dolidze fight. It's not even like the Marvin Vettori and Derek Brunson fights. It's the Kyle Dawkins fight. Because even if DeRitter's not landing a takedown, he's going to clinch fuck this guy. Like, seriously and badly. Holland has no answer from a size perspective, and he's not really there to win it anymore. He's there to put on a show. And you see him talking at the press conference once again. It's like, oh, man, like, let's strike from distance for 3 minutes before you do any wrestling. Like, dude, I get it, but DeRitter actually, he uses his jab solidly well. He's slow. But he rolls with the shots when he knows there's danger. He's solid at that's actually hilarious. His body shape is absolutely disgusting. It's crazy. But I think the other overstated thing, it's not just one takedown and the fight's over. Like, Holland has very good jiu-jitsu. If he's not injured, he's gonna fight till the end. So I think DeRitter decision most likely, but he could have 13 minutes and 58 seconds of control off of 4 takedowns out of 9 attempts. And he might look gassed out, but I think Holland's mouth is going to do more work than he actually will in scrambles by the time round 2 starts. Like Gerald Mearshart, he's typically gassing guys out to the point where he's the one coming out with the round 3 sub. We see DeRitter's size and physicality and the absolute ability to just float in scrambles. This is going to be a very difficult test for Kevin, and I don't think he's really game for trying to win fights at this stage. If he was, he'd be back at 170 still.
Yeah, that's fair. These are all fair statements. I got to shout out Cody, who wraps up his own live stream doing Wager Wars. Dude's over there. It's a good show. Tune into it. If you were here watching our show, that's okay. I get it. Watch his show after this one. It's fine. He's got a good show. You're going to want to see it. Cody's the man. I've been on his show many a time. Usually I'm saving it last minute. In fact, he invited me to do that yet today, but I was already doing this. So unfortunately, this is the first time I haven't been able to save the day. He put up the bat signal. I wasn't able to answer the call. Herb Dean Gold Standard, good to see you, brother. Glad you made it to the show. It's always good to see you. But yeah, I mean, we've all agreed on one thing, if it's nothing else. It's that RDR is a weird looking dude.
Yeah.
So there's that. Couch, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels fucked up for me to go on and talk about why I think Kevin Holland's going to knock him out after TB just talked about his 4-unit big bet on RDR. Now I'm about to pull up and talk about my little 1-unit bet on Holland. I mean, look, I understand it. Holland's an idiot. Holland does not fight smart. Holland makes a lot of mistakes. That's why I'm normally fading him. But here, I can't watch that RDR fight with GM3. And I was on RDR there. I forgot if it was a parlay or a sub prop or something, something along those lines. And I thought he looked horrible. His jiu-jitsu is elite. But his wrestling is not that good. It's really not that good. And his striking is just abysmal. at range, I think Holland is going to destroy him. I think he's going to be so much faster, so much cleaner, so much smoother in the clinch. Like I think that was UTB. You mentioned the clinch. Like, yeah, maybe he'll be like physical enough to drag him down, but in terms of who's going to do some damage in the clinch, I think that's Holland. Holland's got the knees, he's got the elbows. I think he can hurt him in the clinch. I think the big cage will help him stay away from the takedowns because, again, I just really don't think RDR is that good of a wrestler. He's not going to be cutting off the cage, stopping Holland's movements. He's just going to be stalking after him, flat-footed. That 1-2 down the pipe is going to be there for Holland literally all night long. The jab is going to be there all night long. Holland hits like an absolute train. He's relatively durable. I think he's more durable than RDR. I think he take a shot better, and I think out of the two of them, he's much more likely for a knockout. And yeah, even if we hit the ground, I'll be shook. But Holland low-key can scramble. He's got some good hips on him. So I'm not going to count him out, even if there's like 1 or 2 takedowns. I sure hope there aren't because I'm on Holland. But I honestly, when I saw plus 100 Holland, I was like, I feel like I need to do this because I almost played RDR pre-tape when it was like plus 125. I saw that line, and, I think Holland's a dummy sometimes. I bet Roman Dolidze against him at a similar line. So I thought I'd be on RDR too, and then I looked at it and I was like, no, there's no way. I personally feel like Holland's going to knock him out. So I have 1 unit on him, money line. I'm thinking about throwing a half unit on the KO, but after how my last week went, I'm trying to keep it simple. So we'll see. Probably going to stick with just that money line.
Yeah, simple is usually good, especially these days, because when you try and get cute, things just don't go the way that you plan. So I get that. For me, honestly, this is one of 2 fights on the card that I just don't really have a good – I can't confidently say one guy's going to win. Like, there's 2 fights on this card where I've gone back and forth every time I've thought about it. And honestly, because it's so if or, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if it's on the feet, Holland is winning this fight. Like, RDR is not going to outstrike Holland. It's just not going to happen. But if he gets to the mat, Holland's toast because even though Holland is good in the jiu-jitsu, he's not Rainer de Ritter good, and he's going to be the smaller guy by like a pretty good clip. So I don't know. Ultimately, I tossed it back and forth, and like initially pre-tape, I had the opposite of couch where I was like, oh, Holland, because he's going to knock this dude out. And then I was like, watching it back, and I'm just like, Holland just lets these guys pull him to the mat, and they don't get it. It's so frustrating to watch. So, like, I can't bet on Holland probably at any point, unless he's fighting, like, somebody that he's just going to run through. But Holland seems to just not care if he loses anymore, and I don't get it. That bothers me. So, yeah, it's like you just go out there to collect the check. Okay, cool, I get that. Like, it makes sense. But, like, dude, if you win, you get double. So what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I don't trust Holland at all. He could definitely knock out RDR. I hate this one. I'm going to pick RDR for the sake of a pick because I do think that at some point Holland's just going to let him get pulled down, and then he's going to do that thing where he's just like talking. And it's something that Kendra pointed out to me a long time ago that I can't get out of my head, is that if Holland doesn't have a good first round, he just can't bounce back because he's just like in his own head, and he's just like pouts kind of and like is upset and like he just can't bounce back because he's just like, for whatever reason, he's like he just is flustered. So honestly, I gotta go RDR mostly because of that. But dude, like, I don't know, this fight is a nightmare to pick. So
What do you guys think about him messing up his rib like 3 months ago?
How's he back so soon?
I know. I don't like it. I don't like that.
Ribs are weird because they both are like a pain in the butt when they're injured, but also seem to heal pretty quick if you treat them right. So I don't know.
I don't love it from a few perspectives, but I respect. Hey, listen, if you're getting plus money, you did your job. You know, I can't argue with catching the best of the line.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean,
TB, want to do a Chewy bet?
I don't really drink like that. That's my thing. Is I've always been trying to look for like the alternative. But
dude, guys, I got it. I was just talking to Kendra about like really fun like bets that aren't.
Look how excited he got,
dude. Okay. Here's the deal. Loser on their next show, has to eat a whole lemon.
I like lemons though. Is that even fair?
Damn, that is. I actually really like.
Dude, I
lemons.
do too. That's why I was hoping to make that. Like, I love lemons, and I was like, dude, if I lose, that's great. Like most people
Yeah,
can't.
I
see
actually
a
wouldn't
lemon.
be upset. That'd be fun though. I'll eat a lemon.
Dude, that'd be so funny though. Watching somebody just okay,
Or
even
a
better.
shot of lemon juice.
Dude, that's what I was saying. Lemon juice. Okay, that's
Nah, you gotta drink a cup of vinegar.
Oh god. Okay, now we're talking about me vomiting live on air. That's the problem.
I like vinegar, so I wouldn't mind that one.
Fair enough.
How about that? They got to do a full shot of lemon juice.
That's not bad at all. That's like a chaser for your tequila.
That's true.
Man, you guys are hard. You guys are hardcore.
That's my thing. Is like,
Chat's got
oh, look at this guy.
Hooperton wanted to see them bicep gains, so what's up? There you go. That's funny. Yeah, there you go. So, loser has to give Hooperton $20. There you go.
That's a. I'd rather send it to cash.
Okay, what about that?
I
Loser
fucking
has to
love
just
onions.
eat a raw
But,
onion.
that would be fucking crazy.
Red onion too.
Okay, one bite out of a raw onion live on air would be hilarious.
Has to be a red onion though, because those are the only ones that are like hardcore.
I fucking hate onions, so I feel like this is not fair.
Yeah, I love onions.
What do you not like? What do
Alright,
you
so
not
we're-
like? We have to make this fair. I'll take a bite out of an onion, but you got to do something you don't like then.
Oh, there you go. Vinegar.
Yeah. That's tough.
Are you one of those people who just eats everything?
I'm a foodie. I went to culinary school. I cook.
Oh,
I do meal prep every week. There's a few things like I don't like, but it's not like I don't know, like vinegar. Like I wouldn't want to drink vinegar because like I'm pretty sure I also don't have like that's why I don't drink a lot. Like I'm pretty sure I'll just immediately vomit it up. So
That's fair. I mean, the eyebrow shave is a real thing. Like, I don't think we should do that. That could be bad.
I mean, that's not fair. I have way more eyebrow to give up than he does.
Yeah. That's once again we're inequitable.
We'll come up with something.
Dude.
All right, let's keep this bad boy rolling though. We'll have to settle our
we'll settle
our
this.
differences.
We'll hash this out on Twitter.
Yes.
We'll take it up.
I love it.
Oh, God.
Come on. Now they just want to
Okay.
see our actual pain.
Moving on. Let's see. I wrapped up the last one. That means Effie started. So TB's kicking this off. We have Dariush versus Moicano. And that's another fun fight. And I'm looking forward to hearing this one because I need some swaying. So TB, what do you got?
I'm in a very difficult predicament here because when you analyze statistics, tell the tape, historical opponents, just overall credentials, I mean, it screams Benny the Bull, dog shot. So I took it. And knowing that I was probably going to get a little movement in the ability to make a decision as the week goes on, I'm sitting on a plus 170. It's just, I mean, the real issue is here, the outside the octagon concerns. I mean, Jesus. I'm curious, like, is Benny, I really disliked, going into his last few matchups. He's like, oh, yeah, my wife and kid are, like, sleeping in the hotel room with me, and they're, like, there with me as I'm, like, going into the fight. I'm like, it didn't, that just screams, a little bit of softness and, like, not a bad way. Like, he's a great father. He's a really good guy. He's a great fighter. But I just don't think Moicano actually threatens him from a I'm going to knock you out on the feet perspective. And that's what keeps me in the game here on Benito Dariush. I think like Moicano, there's an outside chance he's going to be the faster guy from the outside. Maybe. But I think Benil's power and the ability for him to actually land knockdowns on the feet, that's what's going to be the great separator in keeping Moicano from landing at a high pace. And then I don't think Moicano can just wrestle this guy. Like, who can effectively just wrestle Benil Dariush? Not really anybody. And Benil is known for actually having wrestling success versus some of the most difficult to control people, like Diego Ferreira, like we talked about earlier. I don't know. I think the dog shot's warranted. This isn't like a maxed out play or anything, but I feel good at least one unit. Maybe keep the second one I have, but I got to see him like actually look good on the scale. Like I want to make sure he's not way smaller at face-off because then I'm like, okay, well, I could envision Moicano, but if Dariush isn't fully head in the game, but I got to stick to the dog shot. We're going for it.
Fair enough. I don't mind it. Nobody minds a dog shot, especially when an accredited guy like Benil. Couch, I imagine you're probably in a similar boat where it's like money versus like what's going on here. So what do you think, Couch?
I mean, look, do I think there's a value, like it's a value play? Yes, but I think he's straight up winning. Like he's my official pick this week too. I'm not doing that thing where like, yeah, I'm picking the favorite, but I'm betting the underdog. No, I'm straight up picking Beneil. It was an early play I made. I caught plus 196, I think, on FanDuel. And I'm kicking myself for not putting 2 units on it because I think that's so off. But I wanted to like really tape it really well and then decide on adding it or hedging off. And I didn't expect this much money to come in because you go on social media and it's just all money Moicano, money Moicano. He's going to get that money. He's going to sleep Beneil. Beneil's washed. And then the line's just going down, 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 down on Beneil. So it's like, okay, well, first of all, that probably means my bet's going to lose because I'm not allowed to get CLV. If I get CLV, the bet's cooked. But for me, it's just like, I love Moicano. Like, it's not like he's a guy who I try to fade. I was on him when my guy Tyler up here was on Drew Dober. He was saying,
Okay.
I think we had a show together. He was saying Drew Dober would knock him out. Moicano pulled it off, but he did get hurt multiple times in that fight.
Against me.
I was on him against Jalen Turner. I don't think I had a tracked play on him against BSD, but I did play him like right before the fight started, like fucking $25 or something. And I just think that like I love the guy. I think he's a great fighter. But first off, I'm not buying into the whole Dariush is washed thing because he got knocked out by Charles Oliveira after holding him down the entire round, Charles Oliveira, and then got caught by a nasty combination by Arman. I mean, that was so smooth. That was such a clean combo. It's like it happens. And like, are we just gonna pretend like Moicano isn't notoriously kind of chinny? Like he's also been knocked out plenty of times. He got hurt in the Drew Dober fight more than once. He got essentially completely put out against Jalen Turner. Turner just decided to lose that day. Lucky for me, but that was pretty much over. So I don't really trust Moicano's chin either. And right now, honestly, I still kind of trust Dariush's chin more than I trust Moicano's from what I've seen. So I think that Dariush can hurt Moicano on the feet. I think he's more dangerous on the feet. I think he's the better striker. He's a little bit unorthodox with his style, but I think it's going to work for him. I don't really think that Moicano's a great striker on the feet. He's tremendously hittable, doesn't really move his head. And Moicano's elite on the ground, but his wrestling's okay. It's not like elite wrestling. It's fine. But Dariush has dealt with better wrestling. He dealt with Gamrot, scrambled through pretty much everything in that fight. So I just don't really see Moicano easily taking him down. I don't see Moicano easily just holding him down, taking his back, ground and pound, kind of doing what he did to BSD. I don't see any of that. So like I'm playing it out in my head and it's like, how does Moicano even win? And it's like maybe Dariush's chin is just actually completely dust and Moicano just hits the air and then the air knocks out Dariush, or maybe he has more wrestling success than I think. But like the more I game it out, the more I think Dariush is going to win. So hopefully I'm not jinxing myself. Knock on wood. I think Dariush should get it done. I think he can knock Moicano out. I think he can win a decision. I don't think he's going to sub him. So yeah.
All right. Before I jump into my breakdown, I got to defend myself a little bit here on the Dober pick there. I was holding pads for the dude, like not even like 3 weeks before that fight. So like, what was I going to do? Pick against him? Come on now.
Was he who was the favorite in that fight?
Gosh, probably
was it Moicano?
Probably
It was.
Yeah.
So then you didn't even make a bad bet because he did have him on the skates multiple times.
It was so close, dude. It was so close. So like I don't know. It wasn't. Plus like, Dober's like he's like my second favorite fighter in the UFC. So like I can't like Juicy J is my guy. Like I'm never gonna but like. Dober's on the level where I'm pretty much picking him against anybody. Maybe not anybody, but pretty close to anybody. Like, I mean, if they put him in there against Islam, we've already seen that fight. I'm not gonna be that stupid. But at the same time, most people I'm picking Dober. So either way, back to this fight. I flip-flopped so many times on this one because I echo the sentiment you guys have said about Dariush being an absolute live dog. But there's also something to be said for momentum. And Moicano has nothing but momentum, and he looks to be still improving, which I know he's 35, but like the dude looks to be improving still. The way that he was just absolutely battering BSD was not something we've seen from him before. That's a recent development. The dude's ground and pound has leveled up. He has always had really good jiu-jitsu. So even though I know that Beneil has really good jiu-jitsu as well, I think it's like I don't think it's going to be like a situation where Dariush is going to have a big advantage over him. I think it's close. I think it's good. It's really tough. It's ultimately I'm passing on this one. There's nothing you can do to make me put money on this like fight short of like a gun to my head, and even then I might just be like, screw it, pull the trigger because this is crazy. Like I just don't know. I really don't have a good read on it. I didn't want to have to make a pick on this fight because I can see both guys winning this fight, and it's so hard to predict. But I decided to side with Moicano as my choice because of the momentum. And I think that because in MMA, momentum's a big thing. And like kind of like TB said, though, like Dariush being kind of softer these days, the family thing, things like that. Dude, Moicano is like out there just looking like a savage, like crazy savage. So there's something there too. So don't trust my pick on this one. I'm taking Moicano, but there's not a lot to it. I don't know. But yeah. Let's check the chat real quick before we move on to Effie's pick here. Year's rest for Benny might be good for him. Yeah. I mean, there is true though. He has been talking about retiring, and that's another thing that's concerning. So yeah. Let's see. Dariush doesn't win another fight in the UFC. I will eat an onion and drink vinegar at the same time.
Gonna hold you to that one.
Uh-oh.
Brother, that's insane, dude. That's ballsy. Like eating an onion and washing it down with some vinegar is nuts. Like you're a hardcore man. You are a hardcore man. Dariush was yeah, I mean that's fair. That's true. He was asked the question, but yeah, if he loses and retires. Okay. 2 fights, losing in a row, motivate. Okay. He wasn't his best. See, it's still one of those things. Like I still just keep going back and forth. But like
I mean, with Armin, it was a 1-minute fight. We don't even know what he was going to look like. Like it was the first. It was the first real combination and just put him out.
True. It's true.
We don't know.
What's up, Lone Dog? Yeah, it's oh gosh, it's just so I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's no fight left in Beneil. I definitely don't think that. I am worried about I'm worried about like him just not being him anymore. I don't know. Who knows? Effie, maybe you can sway me the other way too. Who knows? What side are you on?
I'm on one. Well, I'm not on him betting wise. I'm picking Moicano to win. I think that he's a little bit quicker at this point. I think that Beneil's hittable. But bro, my initial take when I broke this fight down this week was I couldn't believe the line. I couldn't believe Moicano was minus 200. I didn't see a single area where he will separate himself in this fight. They're both super old. Their durability can be questioned. Even when they were younger, their durability could be questioned. But what's interesting is, you talk about momentum. This is going to be Moicano's 6th fight in 13 months. That's 6 weight cuts in pretty much a year. Beneil hasn't cut weight once in over a year now. I don't know if that helps him. I don't know if he's going to be rusty, but he is losing to the top guys. But I'm going with Moicano here. I think he can outpoint him on the feet. But man, he was getting taken down relatively easily by RDA. And I think Beneil's a good enough wrestler to implement that game plan and really put him on his back. I know he's active off his back. He's a really good grappler. But I mean, I do like the momentum on him being on his side. It's kind of crazy they're the same age, and I think that Beneil's white head, the hair, really does him a bad look. I feel like everyone doubts him because he looks so old. I mean, he is getting finished by Charles and Armin, but those are the top guys in the division. So, going Moicano, don't feel great about it. Definitely not laying minus 200, and I'm agreeing with that line movement. I can tell why money's coming in on the other side for sure. But yeah, I'm going Moicano here. Decision.
There we go. 2-2. It makes sense because it is a close fight. But yeah, for me, this is just the fight that I'm just going to watch. I'm going to enjoy it. I'll crack open a root beer. You know what I mean? I'm going to enjoy that. Let's see. But there's too many plates spinning. Yeah, I mean, I get it. He's like a family man now, Like, dude's got stuff to do that's probably – it's not like he hasn't made his money. Dude's been in the UFC forever, so I get that. But we can move on to some fights. Oh, yeah, they're like 15 days apart, actually, I think is what everybody's saying, which is crazy. But we can move on to the last 3 fights. This next fight is one that I'm super stoked to break down. Couch is kicking this one off. Yuri Prochazka and Jamahal Hill, or Jamal Hill, but I don't know, spelled like Jamahal. I always call him Jamahal. in my brain. I can't not think that when I say it. But either way, Captain, let me know what you got.
Okay, Tyler.
Dude, I don't know. I just had to get that out there, you guys. You need to know that.
Anyways, yeah, so I played Hill at plus 100. I'm super anxious about it. I'm going to be anxious the entire time. I've been considering arbing off. I got in on him relatively early. I didn't even fully tape when I did it. I mean, I know these guys very, very well. We all do. We've seen them a million times, especially recently. But I figured, seems like all the money's coming in on Hill. He's the underdog still. I do favor him to win. Let me put a unit down, and I think I'm going to be able to arb out if I want to. And I can arb out. I can actually arb out and get a little bit of profit if Jiri wins, but I think I'm going to keep it. Jiri has a way of just breaking guys. He's just different. He's a very different kind of human being. He's similar to like a Dricus Duplessis for me, where you consider their skills and they should probably be losing. And you know what? Most of the time, Jiri is losing his fights until he wins them. Like I was talking about this with my brother. Literally, his first fight in the UFC, Volkan Oezdemir is beating him up because he's sticking his head out like he does. He's getting hurt. Then he comes back and he wins. Then he fights, was it Dominic Reyes next? Fights Dominic Reyes. Back and forth fight. Reyes has a ton of good moments. Jiri admits that Reyes knocked him out with an up kick, then comes back and wins that fight. Fights Glover. Loses that fight until the last second and then gets a submission. After that was... Then it was Pereira, I think. Pereira beat him fair and square. And then Rakic. Rakic beats up on him for the first round, and then he breaks Rakic. I just don't really see him breaking Hill. I don't get that kind of vibe from Hill that he can be broken. He's been in hard fights. He's been in fights where he's been pushed. He's been in fights where if he wanted the door out, he could have taken it. And I just don't think he's gonna break. I think that he can match Jiri when it comes to power. Maybe not like pure like physicality, but like in power, I think Jamal Hill hits pretty damn hard. So does Jiri. But like we talk about this all the time. You have Jiri winging strikes like this, and then you got Hill going straight down the pipe. Who's landing first? It's probably going to be Hill most of the time. And I just think that as long as he moves, because sometimes Hill can just plant his feet and he'll just be super flat-footed. If he does that and he starts letting Jiri back him into the fence, he's going to be in trouble. But if he keeps moving and just circling, Jiri's going to be coming in head first like he always does, doing his movements like this with the hands back and forth. And then Hill should be able to just do that jab, 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 jab. He did it to Glover, just kept jabbing at him over and over and over again. That same thing will work on Jiri. Just keep jabbing, and then the occasional follow-up. It's going to be there. And like, on first thought, I was like, okay, but Jiri has all these different weapons, these knees and elbows and teep kicks. And then I'm watching Hill, and Hill's ripping teep kicks. Hill's throwing knees up the middle. Hill's mixing in some elbows. So as long as he just doesn't get Jiri'd, he should win this fight. But it's a valid concern still, because I make that whole breakdown. I explain why I think Hill should win, but Jiri just doesn't care. He doesn't care about my breakdown. He's just going to come out there, get punched in the face 400 times, and then find a way to knock out Hill. And I'm just going to be like, I tried. But that's all I can do. It's hard to see Jiri losing, but it's also hard to see Jiri just running through Hill here for me. So I think Hill's going to take it. At plus money, I thought it was a necessary play. If I get really, really nervous about it, maybe I'll hedge off. But right now, I'm keeping it.
Honestly, I agree entirely because I bet on Hill at plus 100 as well. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is keep an eye on the line. And I think Hill is likely going to become a bigger favorite. And I think it's going to keep money's going to keep coming in. I think we ought to get Jiri at like plus 135 at some point. And what I'm going to do is play him to win a unit or to win, I guess 0.75 to win 0.75 units because that's what I bet on Hill. So that way, if Hill wins, I get a slight profit. If Jiri wins, I break even. That's the way to do it. I'm going to take the free money either way, or at least the safe bet. I might play it so I can get a little free coin no matter what. You got to take the free money sometimes. It's a good fight. It's a fun fight. Something I like for Hill is that he's training with a guy that I happen to know personally. In fact, we actually fought on the same card like over a decade ago. And that's Carlos Trinidad. Carlos Trinidad is an absolute savage. over in BKFC. If you don't know, the dude's been cashing tickets for us for a while now, and like he was the number one training partner for Hill going into this fight because he has such an awkward striking style. Not like Yuri awkward, but it's like a different striking style. And I think that's going to help him a lot here because Yuri's such a weird guy, like a weird puzzle to solve. I think Hill's going to be whooping on him until he doesn't. If he doesn't, like if he loses, it's going to be one of those things. So yeah, give me Hill. I'm going to take him to win. I think I'm probably going to play both sides though, so I can just take free money because I mean that's what I do. So, but yeah, like Plum Dog said, great fight to watch, terrifying to bet. Absolutely agree. Effie, what do you think?
Yeah, man. I only have 2 bets on the card, and Jamal Hill's 1. I got the worst line out of all of us. I got minus 110, so 1.1 units to win that. The homie in the chat is saying the UFC will appreciate our donations.
What does that even mean?
I was gonna say like there's no
right?
there's no relation there. There's absolutely nothing to do with each other there.
Is the UFC taking bets now?
They get money from Circa now. But yeah, no, I mean, I just feel like I could trust Hill more. At the time, I had no bets on the card, and I feel like this was a decent one. What's funny about Jiri, he's talking about now I have to put my hands up, and I'm like, God damn it! The time I bet against him is the one time like he starts fucking putting his hands up. I'm like, that would suck ass. But I just think Hill could land more volume. I really like his jab, like Couch said. I even think he's a better grappler in this fight, and I think that while Jiri's explosive and he's dangerous and he's wiry, I think that pure striking wise, I think Jamal Hill is better. And I know everyone doesn't like him for how he acts on Twitter and stuff, but whatever, you gotta put that aside. I'm on Jamal Hill here. I hope he wins. It's gonna be a sweat for sure, though.
Word. TB, you echoing this?
Round it out, baby. I got minus 105, so I'm stuck here in the middle. But this is my second biggest bet of the day. I just have the feeling that Jamal Hill, he's coming out. He's the cleaner striker, way higher pace. If it's going to decision, it's clear that Hill's going to be the winner. If it's a finish, I think Hill's going to be the guy landing first and landing more often. Yeah, let's bring it on home, boys.
Heck yeah, brother. Dude, I seriously do think that Hill's going to be I think like he short of a knockout, I think that's his pass. So I guess maybe you could what's Prohashka knockout? Does anybody have that off the top of their head?
There's no way it's that much better than his money line.
It was like plus 160.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Wow, Prohashka inside the distance is only plus 130. Ooh. Yeah. I mean it makes sense. So there we go. Home record really does not like Hill. There's like some really
yeah.
Wow.
He really stole his girl or something.
Maybe it's Jamal Hill's brother that he beat up at the
dude, maybe. Dude, that'd be wild actually if that was Jamal.
He's just going into everyone's breakdown videos and just like, no, this guy sucks. He didn't beat me up. I swear I wasn't talking that shit and got smacked.
That'd be actually pretty funny though.
Home wrecking knee knocker. He got his knees knocked in the home wrecking feud of a lifetime. We're putting it all together. Detective TV. Damn,
we figured it out. Dude,
that's it. We did.
You have a future as a private eye, man. You found Couch Warrior.
This stream has gone off the rails like 16 times since I got onto the stream. Maybe I should have stayed asleep.
Dude,
this is all just a fever dream for Mike.
Seriously, I'm gonna wake up. It's like, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I never made it on the stream.
Dude, this stream has been wild. It started off with just me and Effie. Like, is anybody else going to be here? I don't think so. Like, we knew TV was coming late, but we were like, I guess it's just us. So, dude, once the stream started that way, we knew this thing was going to be off the rails from the get-go. But we can move on to the co-main event of the evening, and I am the one that kicks this off. And we have Merab Dvalishvili defending his bantamweight championship against Umar Nurmagomedov. And all I've got to say is Cousin Umar's getting this one done, boys. He's the best in the division. It's not close. Umar's going to win this fight. He's going to beat Merab. Merab's probably getting finished. Yeah, I got Umar. I think he's better every single place that this fight takes place. He's going to put Umar's going to put Merab on his back if he wants to. He can keep him on the feet if he wants to. He can do whatever he needs to win this fight. Umar's got it done. That's all I got to say. Effie, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going going Umar here as well, but I will say I'm not that confident. I'm not as confident as you.
Very confident.
We saw Corey Sandhagen getting up, breaking the grips, getting separation over and over again against Umar. But Umar is just so good, man. He's so well rounded, like you said. He's so quick on the feet. His kicks are dynamic. They're super fast. You never know if he's going to go to the body, low, inside calf or up top. You're basically guessing at that point. Really good question mark kick too by Umar that he has the mix in. But he's super, flexible, really mixes it up. And then obviously the grappling credentials, man. This guy's been around, those guys his whole life. So I think he's a real deal. I think that I agree with Tyler. I think he can finish Merab in this fight. I think that Merab will be looking uncomfortable in this fight. If he can't get the takedown, he's going to be going straight back, trying to circle out with Umar trying to cut the cage off. So I think Umar's going to be applying a lot of forward pressure in this fight, not really caring about the takedowns. And I think he obviously has the scrambles to get up. So Merab's not someone that's known for his control time. Yeah, he gets takedowns, but a lot of guys get back up. And then obviously he's good enough to get him back down, but he never really holds guys, submits guys, and finishes them. He's just relentlessly getting takedowns. So I think his time's up. Great fighter or anything. Very rare we see this high level of fighter at this number. So I don't, blame anyone taking a shot on Merab, but I don't think he wins. So I'm going Umar. And I think he finishes him in that 4th round via knockout.
Let's go, dude. Same page, 100%. TB, how about you, dude?
Cousin Umar by finish plus 300. DraftKings, BetMGM. I mean, Henry Cejudo has this guy on wobbles. Marlon Moraes put this man on ice skates. We saw the likes of Ricky Simone having a little grappling success here or there. A little
Cody Stamen.
Yeah, Cody Stamen. Talk about back and forth. And man, it's just Merab is going to get hurt early on. Like Umar's technical striking, the fact, like I've heard it been said that the fact that Umar's not used to fighting in the big cage is a disadvantage. I think that for a guy whose striking defense is like elite levels, it's only going to help him further. As long as he's not coming in injured like Piotr Jan was, old like Aldo, injured like O'Malley, who required hip surgery. And O'Malley was never the greatest wrestler either. That was always the downside to that matchup. But yeah, over here, I think Umar literally has him covered everywhere. He's the bigger guy. I can't decide if it's submission, knockout, but I think he's hurting him, and we'll see what happens from there. But for 5 rounds for Merab to have to survive this, potential staff, blah, 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 give me plus 300. I'm happy.
What staff? Where did we see staff?
I don't know. He's got a crazy leg infection. Like
the thing on his leg is not staph. There's literally
stitches, right?
Yeah, it's stitches.
Yeah.
Like I'm so tired of this staph bullshit. Okay. First, Armin has a spec. Now he's got staph. Now Marab's got staph too. How about Jiri? Does Jiri have staph?
I love the staph accusations. It's every pay-per-view. Every pay-per-view someone has staph, bro. You can guarantee it.
Merab's shin does look gnarly. It looks gnarly. So Umar lands a ton of kicks. So that could be a target,
Yeah, dude. Okay, this staff thing is like it's hilarious to me because like every fighter seems to have staff now. But like, if you're picking anybody on this whole card that likely has staff, dude, I think it'd be Yuri. Like that dude's doing weird stuff all the time. You never know what that guy's got. Like if he got an infection, that dude would just let it go too. He'd be like, "I must fight the demons."
Dude, I was gonna mention earlier. It's like you look at Jamal Hill's Instagram and he's like training, he's doing stuff. You look at Jiri's Instagram, he's off in some wilderness in a giant waterfall, standing there screaming like this with his muscles out. But
100%.
Yeah,
dude, I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Yuri is the type of guy that like probably used to play in a metal band and like was like would also play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, and just like next thing you know, he goes too hard into the nerd path and thinks and then he's like, I'm a samurai now, dude. And like his friends are like, all right. And the next thing you know, he's in a cage. Like I feel like that's the path that he took in his life. I can't confirm.
I promise you, all he did was he went on some ayahuasca boys trip and he came out of there saying, I am samurai.
Be the samurai.
But okay, is it my turn to break this fight down?
Yeah. Yeah, Umar. I know who you're picking. You're biased though. It's okay.
Nah. So I've really been trying to just stay away from this fight because I am extremely biased. I love Merab. My fiance's Georgian. Her family's Georgian. I love Georgians. Georgian fighters are awesome, and Merab is one of my favorite ones. On top of that, I consider him like one of those fighters like him and Bilal, right? Guys who just are not physical specimens. They weren't born with athletic gifts. They came in and they just worked harder than everybody else. And then that's how they became champ, because they just worked harder. They got better. And then maybe they can't be the best striker, but they can have the best cardio. Maybe they won't be the best wrestler, but they'll shoot the most amount of times. So I love guys like that. I love the guy. I max bet him against Sean. I watched him live in Georgia with like 10,000 people out in the streets. So there's like zero chance I'm betting against him unless it's like really something insane. Like he's minus 600 against Sean O'Malley in a rematch. Then I might have to reconsider things. But I do think he'd beat him again and again, though. But for this fight, unfortunately, I feel like skill for skill, Umar just kind of has him covered. The only thing I can really say is that Umar hasn't really fought a guy like Merab, who's going to push that pace constantly. He'll be in his face. But I just struggle to see where Merab's really going to have a ton of success. Like, I have a hard time seeing him taking Umar down a lot. I have a hard time seeing him really strike with Umar a lot, but who knows? You know, Umar hasn't been fully tested. I think what he did to Sandhagen was extremely impressive. So I'm not one of those guys who's like, Umar shouldn't be here. I think Umar deserves to be here for the title shot. And I do think he's champion caliber, but this is a big test. We'll see how he handles it against Merab. I don't necessarily think he's going to finish Merab. I think it's probably going to go to a decision. I think Merab's tough as steel. He does get hurt a lot, but he recovers really well as well. And I do worry a little bit. Like when I had my max bet on him, we're live in Georgia watching him, and then the 5th round starts, and he takes a couple kicks to the body, and I'm like, that doesn't look good. Like, that doesn't look good. If Sean was doing that earlier, I would have been a little bit concerned. So that's a worry if Umar starts digging into the body, and he absolutely can. He's got nasty kicks. I don't know what's up with that leg. I mean, I know what's up with that leg. He cut it really, really badly, not like a month ago, and it hasn't fully recovered. The stitches are out, but that thing's not recovered. If Umar starts ripping leg kicks, oblique kicks, like just targeting that thing, could be a problem too. I don't know. Maybe Merab's movement will be stifled because his leg's not 100%. It's a lot of unknowns. So I was going to play the over, but I think I'm just going to leave that alone as well. I'm going to watch. I'm going to root for Merab, but whoever wins, I like both of them.
Fair enough. Cousin Umar for the win, though, for real. So, all right. So we can move on to the main event. We have an absolute banger here. It's a rematch, but a rematch that is well-deserved. Finally, usually the rematches are kind of like, all right, whatever. We don't really need to see this. It's always the rematch nobody asked for. This one's a good one. And I believe Effie is kicking this off. Who do you have in the main event? Is it Islam Makhachev or Arman Tsarukyan? What do you know, Effie?
I got a unit on Arman Tsarukyan at plus 330. I mean, listen, man, at the end of the day, the number's just too crazy, man. I think Islam's great. Do I think he wins 9 out of 10 times against Arman? I don't think so, man. I think Arman can win a few of those. Like, I think he can match him in this fight. Last fight against Dustin Poirier, Islam's like minus 500. It's 2-2, in my opinion, going around 5. Dustin stuffing takedown after takedown after takedown. We've seen the grips get broken by Alex Volkanovski now and Dustin Poirier from Islam. His wrestling isn't as dominant as it once was as far as the immediate achievement of getting the takedown. He has to work way more now. But I will say his striking's years ahead of where it was once. Like he was outboxing Dustin. He was looking great on the feet against Dustin. But I think that Arman's a good enough fighter with good fight IQ and good grappling to at least push Islam, man. I think it's going to be a close fight. I think plus 330 is crazy. I think that Islam's the best fighter in the UFC. I love John Jones. Take all the steroids you want, but Islam's the best fighter, the best, most well-rounded fighter. But at this number, I just think it's crazy. I don't think he should be minus 400. Money's coming in on Arman because it's just too much. Give me Arman decision. So, yeah, I got a unit on him at plus 330.
Okay. Ballsy move. TB, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm picking Islam. I think his striking defense and ability to kick at all 3 levels. He has powerful counters with the boxing these days. Like, while Arman has made total changes in his body composition, really grown in, improved as a striker, has incredible wrestling and scrambles, I just think Islam has made his own improvements in that time period as well. I don't think we've quite reached the point where we're going to see the fall off for him. And it might be coming soon, but I don't think just yet. Now, what my bet is for the fight to go the distance. I think either way, this should be a close fight. Both guys are great competitors with seemingly great survivability and durability, even when things aren't quite going their way. Islam round 5 versus Volk, would have been really easy to give in there. Arman in the deep choke versus Charles Oliveira would have been really easy to give in there. And we've seen lesser fighters do so. I think both these guys are incredible. This is like the matchup of a lifetime. And the fact that I think we get to enjoy 25 minutes of it, I jumped in on a little minus 135, like 1 point, whatever units to win one. So it's a good time.
There you go. Couch, what about you?
Yeah, I'm so hype about this fight. I've been asking for this fight for years. Like, what a storyline. They fought, it was Armin's debut. I believe it was short notice. I could be mistaken there. I think it was short notice. Comes out there. No one expects it. Gives Islam probably one of his toughest fights outside of him getting knocked out earlier by Martins. And then since then, Islam wins 9 fights. Armin, I'm going to say he won 10 fights in a row because he beat Gamrot.
Yep.
And they both leveled up like crazy. And I had to take a shot on Armin. I got plus 300. I put a half unit on it with the intention of adding another half unit. I thought that Armin would take some love. I didn't think he would take this much money because the money's coming in on him. I'm still pretty confident that tomorrow when the day starts, the parlay boys will pull out their phones. They're going to go on DraftKings. They're going to parlay Umar and Islam and whoever else is minus 300 or higher blindly. And I do think that I'm hoping for it to at least go back to plus 300 because I would add a half unit. I'm hoping for something higher. It's been up to like plus 340 a few times. Wish I pulled the trigger, but I just feel like it's an insane line. It's an insane line. I don't think Islam is like way better anywhere than Armin. I think his striking is a little bit more technical. Tyler, stop it. His kicks are he's definitely the better kicker. His offensive wrestling, I don't know who's the better offensive wrestler. I think it's Islam. I think Islam's a slightly better offensive wrestler, but I don't think it's going to be easy at all for him to hold down Armin. I think Armin's going to be able to land some takedowns of his own, put Islam on his butt, on his back. I think that Armin's ground and pound is very, very good. So is Islam's, but Armin has great ground and pound. I think that he's an incredibly intelligent guy. The way he defended against Charles Oliveira was elite. I think that maybe Islam can threaten some subs, but I don't think he's going to submit him. I think on the feet, like, I kind of expect Armin to almost like to be landing harder. Maybe I'm off here, but I just think that his punches are going to be a little bit harder. And yeah, I think it's going to be a sick fight. I think it's going to be a close and competitive fight. I don't think it's a blowout on either side. So minus 300 doesn't make sense. So I took my shot on Armin, and I also played the over 3.5 minus 134. I think I got on FanDuel, and I like that too. I don't really think a finish happens. If it does, I think it's like Armin shocking the world and knocking Islam out early. Otherwise, I don't really think there's going to be a finish. So, yeah, I like that over. I like Armin money line at this price, and I'm super hyped to watch.
All right. Well, I think Islam finishes him. So there we are. I think Islam's a much better fighter. I think he's better everywhere. I think Armin's good. I think he's very skilled. I think Islam's the best fighter on the planet currently. Unless there's just some dude out there in the middle of nowhere that we just don't know exists. Not likely, but either way, I think Islam's the best fighter on the planet. So here we go. I'm taking Islam. I think he's probably going to get a finish kind of later. I think at first he's going to feel it out, do what he needs to do, play it safe early on, kind of get a feel for, for the fight. That's kind of what he likes to do. And I just don't think that Armin can do anything, especially as the fight goes on, to be better. I think he needs to get an early finish to win, and I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to win a decision. I don't think he's going to out-wrestle Islam. I don't think he's going to outstrike Islam. I feel like after the fight gets going, like once your chin's warmed up, I don't think he's going to be just knocking him cold with a shot. You kind of got to catch a guy early sometimes, and I think that would be his best path. I think Islam's just too good. I just don't see. I can't play it in my head and give Armin a shot at beating Islam outside of an early KO before things are like warmed up. So for me, it's got to be Islam.
Did you think Poirier would be 2-2 going into the 5th against Islam?
No, Islam had staff in that fight. He actually had staff in that fight. So that's fair.
Everybody has staff now.
He'd have a close fight with Volkanovski up a weight class?
What?
Did you think that he'd have a close fight with Volkanovski up a weight class?
Yes, I did. Go back and watch my video. I did a deep dive on it. I said Volk is the only dude that can make it close with Islam, and that was true. And
you don't think Armin could do that?
No, I mean the Volk at that time is different than the Volk now. I think if Armin and Volk fought now, Armin would knock him out because those two knockouts back to back changed Volk, I think.
Changes.
But either way, point is, I think Islam's better than Armin. I think Volk at that time was better than Armin, but I think Armin's very good. I just don't think he's quite. I don't think he's quite here. I think Islam's much better. And then he did finish Poirier too. People were acting like Poirier was like whooping him, but like dude, he still choked him out.
I don't think anyone was really acting like he was whooping him. It was just nobody really expected Poirier to fight that close.
I mean, he's like one of the best fighters to do it.
Yeah, but
You got taken down right away when that fight started, too.
to like completely just get out of it almost every time. Like
He hit a switch on Islam too.
Yeah,
a nice switch. Like I wasn't expecting that at all.
Armin can grapple with this guy. Like I don't see him getting mauled.
maybe. I mean, he did well in the first fight with him, so I guess there's that. But like, man, I just don't see it. I think
Islam's good. Yeah, Islam's.
He's too good, man. He's too good. Dude, yeah, there you go. Dude, Effie's the man. Guys, seriously. Like, if you guys aren't subscribed to Effie, you tripping. Like,
Thanks, bro.
He's the man. Also,
Shout out to Tyler, though. Shout out to Tyler.
Chronic
He's always
Combat
supporting the channel, man.
Conversation.
Tyler's always trying to help out and having me
That's what
on.
I'm
So
here
shout out
for.
to you guys.
Dude.
And Couch Warrior, we've done them too, man. One of my favorite streams ever was with Couch and Patrick and Wiz while I was in Salt Lake.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Good old
That
days.
was super fun. But yeah, super fun to like be friends with all you guys, you know.
Word. We did. It's way back there. I can't pull it back up. But we did say we'd do a parlay. But before we do that, before we get the parlay going, I do need to say though, like me and Couch we're both over the 1,000 subs. TB, have you guys passed 1,000 yet?
Chronic Combat is in the 700 range.
Okay.
We do a very poor job of marketing.
Here's the deal, guys. Any Action Sportscast for Effie, Chronic Combat Conversations for TB. You guys are going to need to just go over there and subscribe. There's like a handful of you guys watching this show here. It's not going to get them over the hump, but it's going to help. If you aren't subscribed to them already, their links are in the description of this live stream. Do it for the boys, and watch their content too. Because like if you just subscribe and don't watch it, it doesn't really matter.
Roast me
But,
in
yeah.
the comments. Fuck.
So do that. Barry, hit me up on Twitter, dude. I might have something for you. I gotta double check the card, but I got a couple of buddies fighting for BKFC in the upcoming cards, and I don't remember if tomorrow's card is one of them. So hit me up there. But yeah, so let's put together a parlay, boys. Here's what we got. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pull up a parlay calculator right quick for us.
Are we doing like a chalky safe parlay, or are we doing balls to the walls? Let's make some money parlay.
I think we go balls to the wall on this one. I think
so too. It's a pay-per-view after all.
Yeah. So we'll have to use we'll have to do
Nice hefty legs.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to go
Peyton 1 or 2, or 2 and 3. Like pick a round because I think. Peyton
Okay. Yeah. Let's try to get this one over plus 10,000.
Holy shit.
Let's do it.
We can try.
Let's go. Okay.
TV's like, what the fuck?
Whoever has one, throw something out. Let's see how close we can get it to plus 10,000.
Rinya knockout.
Okay,
Ooh, I
love
like that.
All right.
I like that.
We're
a
gonna
lot.
play the lines off something like DraftKings or
For
something.
the vibes.
Let's see. Rinya knockout on DK is
Sopaj knockout or Sopaj inside the distance.
So we had 330.
Throw it on in.
Let's see. Sopaj knockout. I don't mind that. Or inside the distance. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
throw
Casey
that bad
Simpson.
boy in there.
But I mean, Tercios could scramble.
Let's see. What's Sopaj?
It's tornado kick.
Flying
All right.
heel kick.
Oh, shout out to this comment right here. Let's go, Green King.
Let's see. Sopaj by. Do you want to do KO or ITD for him? I guess we got to go KO because it's plus 300, and I think ITD is not enough.
Yeah, do that. Go
Yeah,
KO.
plus 300. Okay. So we got a plus 330 and a plus 300, and we're only at plus 1620. So we need something a little bigger. Let's go.
Almeida knockout.
Ooh, I love that one. Okay, Almeida knockout. Where are we at? There it is. Fight odds is always weird because it calls him Jalatin Jr. instead of Jalatin Almeida.
That's funny.
Everyone's junior.
Okay, that's only plus 270. That sucks.
It's all right. Get it in there.
It's good.
It'll do a little work.
What's
Yeah.
that bring us to, Tyler?
Okay,
That's
so,
close.
or plus 275. Sorry, not plus 270. So that brings us to plus 6,350.
One
Okay.
more leg.
What is what's Benil decision due to it?
Oh my word! Now we're talking.
Now we're getting crazy. I don't want to put that in. Let's do it.
Hot. This is hot.
Okay, let's see. Benil.
It was either that or Rosa KO. So
Oh Jesus.
Oh jeez.
Benil decision is plus 400. Let's put that on
Yeah,
there.
smack it.
that
Oh,
should
that's
do it.
gonna-
That should
that's
get us
gonna
to
get us there.
5,000.
Goodness.
Oh wow, yeah, that puts us to plus 32,000.
Let's
Oh,
go.
let's
go.
For
That's
the
it.
vibes.
How did that? Wow, why did that jump us up so much? Like I realized that's like
Added a leg and it was plus 400.
Yeah, man.
it literally took us
Like, I
from
don't know
plus
who good there.
6,000 to plus what did I say 32,000. That's
Repeat
crazy.
the legs, Tyler. I'm gonna play it right now.
You gonna play this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are we making it if no one's
Yeah,
gonna play it?
yeah,
I'll play it too.
Let's get $1 on that bad boy.
I might play it. The only problem for me is with DraftKings, I have to drive across the river or the border, which is the river here. 'Cause, like
Take me on the river.
well, you can't play DraftKings in Nebraska, so or you can play like the DFS, but you can't bet like you can't play like on like the bet or whatever. You can't play.
That's so crazy to me. Damn.
It's so stupid. Yeah, you can't online gamble here. You can do like DFS, but you can't online gamble here. So I have to like it's like a pain in the butt to do it. So if I have time, I might go play it.
Did we do Sopaj ITD or KO?
We did
KO.
I don't think he subs him anyway.
Nope.
Yeah, I think you know.
Rinya knockout.
All right, $5 to win 1,600. I'll take it.
Dude, that's so legit. I should kayak one day. That's actually funny. I could do that. That's pretty funny. It's not very far. It's like a 20 to 25-minute drive to like just cross the border. It's just like it sucks to do it. Just to literally like take the interstate across, park on the side of the road, place a bet, and then turn around. Like that's what I like. It's so annoying. But either way, okay.
I'm gonna do the same parlay, but with an alternate leg. Rinya sub because the knockout makes me anxious.
Okay.
So
Dude,
I'm
I
doing
like that. Yeah, play the
I'm doing both of
alternate
them.
version. If I was going to add a leg to it, because I haven't added any legs, but I do agree with those legs.
How did you not? How did we end up with 4 legs and you didn't add one?
I don't know. I think I just heard some that I was like, oh, that sounds nice. Let's put that in there.
Yeah.
Because I would put something crazy in there. Oh, DraftKings doesn't have it. Never mind.
What is it?
I'd put Dawson round 2 KO, but I don't know. That's all right.
Why does DraftKings not have that?
I don't know. It doesn't show up on FightOdds.io anyway.
They definitely have it, dude.
That's what I thought, but like it's not showing up.
I can get the number for you. I'm on DraftKings right now.
Good deal, because if I try to pull it up on my phone, it'll be like, you can't look at it in this location. And I'm like, come on.
Dotson round 2 KO is plus 700.
Oh, that's it? But that's still, that'd be pretty sick.
That's pretty
If we
good,
put
yeah.
that in there, that'd be ridiculous.
Pretty nice.
Oh my gosh. If we put that in there, it's plus 257,900.
There we go.
Dude, for $5 though? Like for $5, dude, like you're set. I don't think I mean that's just too much. I do like that. The $5 play though. I think we should I think that's sick. I'm gonna try and play it.
That's it. We're locked
Let's
in,
go.
baby.
Even though I don't necessarily think Benny wins by decision, I will be rooting for Benny by decision.
What better reason to root for him with
Dude.
a plus 30,000 parlay on the line, dude?
You're damn right, dude.
And if
Damn
it
right.
actually gets to Benil, like you could try to figure out a way to kind of arb that a little bit.
For sure.
Bet pretty much every other possibility.
You could at that point. Like, that's insane.
Ugh.
You have to sign in person. Oh, interesting. That's weird. In Illinois, you can bet online, but you have to sign in person in East St. Louis one time before you can start. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. Like betting laws are super weird. I don't know. He wants a quick safe parlay. Oh boy.
All right, and then we got to go because it's 12 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got work in the morning.
Okay.
I got Bernardo Sopai, Rinya Nakamura.
Jonathan Almeida,
There you go.
Charlton, yep.
and then
Peyton Talbot.
throw Talbot in there.
You can throw Umar in there. Are we allowed
throw
to?
Umar
Or
in
is
there.
Mike not? Is not
Throw
Mike?
Umar.
Is Mike gonna allow us?
That's probably the end of the parlay then.
I can I'll play it without Umar.
Five
Yeah.
legs. 5 legs plus 200.
Easy.
Lord.
Oh,
Throw that
Jesus.
in there, Clips.
That's hot.
You got it, brother.
That is hot. Oh, Bogdan Guskov, if you need to get really greasy, plus 284.
Oof.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you need it, there you go. Safety.
Safety.
All right.
All right,
peace
guys.
out.
Well, yeah. I've already told you guys where to look up everybody. You know where to find them.
Hell yeah.
Subscribe to Any Action Sportscast. Subscribe to Chronic Comment Conversations. Heck, even subscribe to the Couch Warrior podcast.
Oh,
even
yeah,
though he was
yes.
very late. That's okay. He's sick. We'll give him a break. If you haven't subscribed to me, I mean, you can if you want. I don't. It doesn't matter at this point. Once you get to a certain number of subscribers, all that matters is watch time. So just watch my videos.
Oh, we
Subscribe
get
is
it.
cool.
Tyler. You're a big shot
Watch them.
now. You're a big shot. You don't need nobody.
I mean, you don't technically need them either. You're already over 1,000. All you
No,
need is
I
watch
need them. Pull up to my channel.
All right, subscribe.
Tyler
everybody.
doesn't want you. I'll have you. I want you guys. Come.
I still want you to subscribe, but if you don't, just watch the videos. That's all that matters. Anyway, peace out, guys. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Later.